Let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safe Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
4, 3, 2, 1. It is all over. The Edmonton Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
For the win. Draisaitl centers McDavid, tips it home. Game over.
Curry gets it ahead to Gretzky. Gretzky going in. Suter trying to get back. Gretzky with his nice score.
It's the 6 o'clock and check-in. Come on, let's go.
And he scores. Leon Draisaitl.
It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
And there it is. Seth Hyman.
It's the cool and red hot Nielson Show. Let's go.
The Oilers pouring it on. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Smith from behind the net to wrap around. Horton scores. Edmonton wins.
Everybody tune in, even my wife.
Breakaway on the fly. Shoots it goal.
And those Macronella intros are cutting like a knife.
That is an absolutely pitifully bad call.
Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life.
It is Rishaug. Score!
It's like a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
McDavid, beautiful move. In on it. What can you say?
Let's see the Curry. Score!
Here they come, the Oilers. It's dropped back for Bookberger. Shoots, scores! Bookberger! The Oilers win it!
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
Step inside, Rogers Place. Play Step inside, Rogers Place. Play La Bamba, baby.
But we're a dangerous team when we're rolling, and we're healthy, and we are healthy.
Cup is on the line, baby, come and get it done. 16 wins, yeah, they're going on a run. Looking to advance, going deep in the dance. Hop on the bandwagon, let's hear the fans. The fans.
Special place to play, honestly. So much history, these fans. It's great to hear their sport.
Razzling and dazzling every single night. Clubs coming out, baby, gonna be a fight. 6 games, 5 games, how about a sweep? Ticket prices, yeah, they're gonna be steep, yeah. Yeah! Come on! It's the playoffs! Crank it up! It's the playoffs! Take the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Ooh, gotta get the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Come on, lift it up! Let's go win the Stanley! Waited long enough. It's time. No more wait for the oil. It's the fate, yeah. Hey! Hey! Listen. First gear, second gear, third gear, go. McDavid 97, he's a one-man show. Draisaitl, Alfredson, gotta love the nude. Boosh, Skinner, and Picks need to be huge. Be huge. Be huge. They gotta squeeze a little, squeeze a little, squeeze a little more. Get the bottom 6 to find a way to score. One time, overtime, gotta find a way. Jam-packed moss pit going insane. Yeah! Yeah! Cheer a little more. It's the playoffs. Crank it up. It's the playoffs. Take the cup. Let's go win the Stanley. Ooh, gotta get the cup. Let's go
6:07 as we get ready to start round 2 of the National Hockey League playoffs, and what a finish to round 1 as well. We'll discuss that as we work our way through the show this morning. If you're watching over on YouTube today, obviously hammer the thumbs up for us. Halfway home to 100 already, so we do appreciate that. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox, where you don't have to pay for a single year, a calendar year. Do not pay until 2026. Right now, in store, West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Center, and of course at parisjewelers.com. One of your text messages will win the text of the day for A&W, where the team burger is just $4.99 right now. And of course, the Nielsen Show today and every day is brought to you by our partners at South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. You can check them out online, www.southfortchev.com. 0% financing, OAC up to 72 months, or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. Sailor over in the Nasty Chat on YouTube today. When does Lieutenant Eric have his Tommy John surgery booked?
Yeah.
Haven't seen that kind of performance since Fergie Jenkins.
And I'm on acid.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good to know.
It's one of those games, you know,
I'm
where
glad you started doing that again.
You pitch a whole... when you got the weekend off, I mean,
yeah,
talk to me
true.
Friday, you know, after 2 games in round 2 against the... But, I mean, having a weekend off, it's fine. Like, very spry, as I told Fergie's prostate. You see his text as well?
No, I didn't see it.
Holloway, more like doesn't play.
Oh, well, he was hurt, Ferg.
Yeah, I know. But
I mean, it would be...
He wants to get to A&W.
Yeah.
That's the type of text that'll get you there.
We came in today and one of our pom-poms was missing. Luckily, we had some extra ones. Did Curtis Stock steal it? Hey, the
ultimate prank.
The VIP Golf Show boys are back.
Those boys.
And all of a sudden, our pom-poms are going missing. I can't trust Curtis Stock to save my life.
He's a wild man.
I have to talk with Murray. Is Murray in on the hangout today? I'm assuming it's a Monday. He's not traveling around the world.
I would hope he's got to talk Scotty Scheffler's big day out at the CJ Cup.
Scotty Scheffler just
Holy
destroys. How bad do you feel for the guy?
Stop. They're already dead.
Yeah. How bad do you feel for the guy who went like 21 under and finished 8 back?
Yeah.
Like, what a horrible time. But yeah, Scotty Scheffler, that's his first win of the year. He absolutely rolled.
Will Murray and Stock will also be joining us in Vegas for the playoffs here, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So?
My bet didn't hit, the big one. Christian in Winnipeg wants to get in on the fun. Cole Perfetti. More like goal Perfetti. That's a good one. Shout out to all you Winnipeggers who might be listening this morning. Congratulations on all your success. You smell terrific.
Ooh, what a night, as April Wine said. Pizza Boy says St. Louis Blues, more like St. Loser Lose.
Wow. All right. We are on fire today. Hey, we are rolling today, aren't we? All right, 780-218-9999.
Only up from here.
780-218-9999. 30 likes away from changing 100 here early in the morning. I want to dish out a quick conch for Paulie Deuce, who sent in a parlay. He had a $5 bet, and he picked all 8 first-round series correctly. Turned $500 into $200. Wow. Not bad, Paulie Deuce. We'll lay out the show for you here in just a little bit. Fergie over the chat said, Peong, Peong.
Man, he played, like an hour of ice time last night?
What was the...
He set a franchise record.
He set the franchise record, and I think I liked the tweet that I saw about the ice time. There it is. Most time on ice in a Game 7 since 1998, when the NHL officially started tracking time on ice. Chris Pronger, 46-18, as a member of the Blues versus Phoenix back in 99. Pionk, 3 assists tonight as well. Last
15.
night. 46-10 he played.
10?
Yeah, he
I'm
played
seeing 15.
Oh, what? Controversy. That's from Stats Center. Said he played 46-10. Does he actually say 46-15 in the game log?
I'm seeing it on Gino Hard.
Don't even know that one. Anyway, he almost had as much ice time as Pronger. But he played an absolute ton last night. They lose Josh Morrissey in that game and come back. We'll get to that in your morning announcements. Boy.
It was quite a weekend for Game 7's Mikko's revenge.
Well, we got a few things to say about that, too. That is just insane. Morning announcements coming up. That's where we're going to dive into all this hockey stuff from the weekend. I've got a new segment at 6:30, just a one-off called...
NBA?
No. Can the... And it's 3 different questions that start with can the Oilers in this series against the Golden Knights. We're gonna get to that a little bit coming up here as we'll start to set up round 2 between these two clubs. The good, bad, and ugly for the 780, where Adore at the 780 has designed, can I get a win ya? Win ya? Those shirts are waiting. He's just deciding if he's just going to run them off and put them in store or if he wants to do an online pre-sale.
Oh.
So I should know more about that this morning.
Goosebumps.
But hey, how about that? Can I get a win ya?
That's
Sure.
amazing.
Like,
It's official.
That's
It's a
official. Yeah, when it's a shirt, it's a thing now. We will have Craig Button. Drags was in Winnipeg last night, flying home this morning. Can't join us. Will join us tomorrow. So Craig Button will join us just after 7 o'clock today because that guy's always available. We will have your Play Alberta early bird bet of the day. Got to be something. The Florida Panthers right now over at Play Alberta, the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk, where if you've not yet signed up for an account, or if you do have an account and you haven't used our bonus code yet, you are wasting your time here. Use the code YAG50 when you make a $5 deposit and you'll receive a free $50 bet. That's it. YAG50, YEG50. Deposit $5. Get a $50 free bet right now with our partners over at Play Alberta. Florida Panthers are minus 133 favorites on the road in game 1 tonight. We will be building a little anti-Leafs parlay during the early bird bet today.
Riding with the Cats.
Panthers on the money line, and then I'll have to figure out some point props that I can get in the mix here as well. The Kachucks, the Barkovs, the Reinhardts of the like, those guys. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. We'll get your thoughts on this round 2 matchup between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. That's a good. We'll probably come back around to those game 7s over the weekend. I don't know if you could script 2 better game 7s for the National Hockey League. So we'll do that. And then obviously in the 8 o'clock hour, kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. Ryan Rishaug, he's with TSN, and of course, the Got Your Back podcast. Shoggy will be by around 8:30 today, and then we'll have the wrap for William Huff. It makes me sad to kind of lay out a show today and not be able to go to this. Snow report. What a run we had, hey? Bradley James. Bradley James. Bradley James. Oh, that's tough.
We need him again. We need him in the studio. Maybe even on the VIP golf show. Maybe he can join the boys some Sunday.
Wheel says, guys, I have a Play Alberta account. They won't let me change my password because I forgot it. Well, that's just not true, Wheels. Probably a way that you're missing here, but there should be a way to redo your password. I would think. How was your weekend? What'd you get up to?
Great. Nothing. You?
Did you reload for round 2 here? Tommy Gazzola's running back. Westgate Boston Pizza Tuesday night.
Ain't messing around.
Bourbon Street on Thursday night.
Light him up.
Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
And as everyone loves, a pushed back puck drop for 7:30 or around.
Okay,
there.
This sounds weird though, right?
Yes.
I don't like it. I'm dying for the 8 o'clock starts here because kids sports has started.
This factors into your good, bad, and ugly, doesn't it?
No, there's lots of other stuff to get to there. Marshall and the Muzz both have soccer or baseball. Marshall's playing baseball. Muzz is playing soccer. And it's on Tuesday and Thursday. And it goes until around 8 o'clock. And now we're getting these 7:30 starts. This is horrible timing for me. I'm dying for an 8 o'clock. So I'm going to miss. Well, I have a PVR, but I plan on coming out both Tuesday and Thursday night to see
bring him to the pub.
Tommy Gazzola. So Marshall and I will be rolling in. We'll be rolling in right after. Marsh mostly loves the VLTs. So, Daddy, give me a 20.
Loves lounging around.
Let me go to work.
Yeah.
Let me go to work.
A glass of orange juice. And
a glass of orange juice, a dart, and some VLTs. I know everybody else loves the 7:30 start, but as a father with kids in spring sports right now, major backfire here.
What about the pool?
Pool's on Wednesday.
Okay,
no conflict with the pool.
Tuesday.
Plus, Wednesday, it doesn't matter. Nice. Barracuda.
Well, he's the Scotty Scheffler of the drink.
He is the Scotty Scheffler of the drink.
Blowing them away.
Yeah, Marshall is like if the Torpedo back in the day somehow had a kid with Phelps, this would be their son. What was that guy's name? Ian Thorpe. Remember the Torpedo? Best damn sports nickname of all time.
As I said, Canada's next Mark Tewksbury.
Yeah, whatever it is. Whatever it is. That's what I'm raising right there. Be a lot of fun. Oh, I bought a new pressure wash over the weekend.
Okay.
Pressure wash the hell out of everything in my backyard.
May I borrow it?
Like if you want to borrow, yes, you can. I'll bring it over the truck.
What is it? Gas?
No, it's just a little plug-in thing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't spend like $600 on one. I bought the cheapest one. But I bought the cheapest one a couple of years ago and it died. So we managed to sadly work it through last year. But Tam was doing some stuff and I said, I can't stand for this. So I went and I got a new pressure washer.
You put your foot down.
And man, I was pressure washing the hell out of everything. Like, on a patio, you get like the little moss start to build up between the lines. Not anymore.
It doesn't stand a chance.
And I fully bought into the pressure washer game. And there was so much mud coming up from the patio that I was covered. Like my face was covered in mud, my pants, my shoes were basically ruined. But man, do I love pressure washing stuff. So let me know. I mean, you can borrow it or I can come over and do the pressure washing for you.
You'll pay me to
It's
come
my
over
new
and
side
pressure
gig.
wash. Yeah.
It's my new side gig.
$100 and you can come over and do the whole day.
Dusty's pressure washing stuff. Let us know what you need. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I went and saw Thunderbolts over the weekend.
Okay.
Marshall and the Muzz had like a joint sort of birthday party. From like 4 until about 8, 3:30 to 7:30 on Saturday. And I looked at Tam. I said, do I got to come to this party? She goes, nope. I said, well, I'm going to go see Thunderbolts then. So I went by myself. And you'll never believe these 3 little punks. So I had the whole left side of the theater.
Feet up on the chair,
by myself.
Right?
There was nobody else sitting on like the one side.
Please no.
I'm sitting there.
Please no.
These 3 kids come in 10 minutes after the movie starts. Sit down right in front of me. Right in front of me. Like they were going to sit somewhere else. They come down, the 3 of them sit right in front of me. I'm looking around like I was on the show Punked. I was like, why would these kids sit right in front of me when the entire left section is empty outside of myself?
And once the movie starts, you've relaxed your defenses.
I know.
You're like, okay, perfect.
I moved.
Good.
I was like, I can't. This whole section is empty. I can't sit here. I want to have my feet up a little bit. So I moved around and sat. I moved back and I did it loudly to oh, you made me angry, kids. So I got up, moved around, sat back. Then, like 15 minutes later, these 3 kids get up and leave. And I thought, what were you doing here in the first place? The only thing I could think of is they were shoplifters and they were running from somebody and decided to hide in the theater. Because they came up and sat like right behind the barrier, like when you walk in, they're sitting right there. I think they were trying, take the heat off.
They were trying to evade the copter.
Man, really. But by the way, the movie's excellent.
Even with all that disruption, I like it.
Even with all the disruption,
focused.
The movie was excellent. Yeah,
I saw one of the Combine crew in the mall Friday. He too went and saw the movie.
I saw he went and saw the movie by himself. Yeah. Tam tried to convince me to go with a buddy. I was like, what are you talking about? I'd much rather go to a movie by myself.
His experience far more enjoyable. Nobody really in there, like two other lone males.
That was it. Yeah. Well, I was all by myself on the left side till these little a-holes came and sat down in front of me. Trev, how was your weekend? You're a big soccer hero again, I hear.
Footy. First game of the season, scored a goal, 2-1 win. Not bad. New team. I actually like our team. We look pretty legit. We were
really. This is the one that Hernan got teased about.
I deemed him unfit to play.
Damn.
Yes, I said no, Hernan.
That one hurts.
And Zach also no. But it was good. No complaints. Just packing. I was packing like crazy because this is the big week. I finally moved, which I'm so
what day
excited.
are you moving? At
Thursday.
You're moving on a game day?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, but. I think I'll be able to do it. Still got some things to figure out. But if that's the case, I'm confident in my team that we will be able to
move after the game.
Oh, but then
that'd be fun.
I don't know. I don't know. It could be, but I don't know about that one.
Best move ever or worst move ever?
Yeah, either the worst. Yeah. So solid weekend, boys. Watched a lot of sports.
Boy, was it hot though, hey, too?
Oh, it was amazing. I went
Saturday.
Patio, what do you call it?
Just
in
gross.
the city, patio hopping?
Did you really?
Yes,
wow,
I did.
that sounds nice, Trev.
It was very fun. That was my weekend.
Oh, it sounds like you had a great weekend as well.
Thanks, boys. Yes, it was. I was thinking
that
of
sounds
you guys.
that sounds pretty good. I wasn't thinking of you at all over the weekend. Sorry, man.
What? That's rude.
Changing 100.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Wow. That's 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Changing 100.
If you multiply this show 3 hours, 20 minutes times 100, I mean, that's...
I'm doing
we are at an astronomical rate here. Where are we at? Terwilliger Rexon?
If you are watching over on YouTube today, yes, hammer the thumbs up for us today. RCN over the chat says, rest in peace, PDO King. Yeah, this is a conch. So PDO King on Twitter, on X, many of you in the Oilers
used to be a guest on Low Tide's program way back in the day as well.
Sadly, passing away. When did RCN slide into our DMs? Was that on Saturday or was it on Friday? Anyway, at Kinger999, many of you would be familiar with him. That was sad news that popped up
Friday night
over the weekend as well. He would have absolutely loved these Game 7s that we had over the weekend. So, that was tough news to see as well. All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. And we will get to a few more of your messages over there and on in the inbox at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Dusty, you should go listen to Pressure Washer Techno while you pressure wash things. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's funny. That's a thing, eh? Okay. All right.
We got that. A new podcast.
We got that for us. Pressure washing stuff. All right. Let's get in your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear. Edmonton's best rock. You can McCord every morning. Jess Jackson on the way home. What a weekend in the National Hockey League. Like, am I taking it too far to question or wonder if Mikko Rantanen had the greatest period in the history of the National Hockey League?
I'd say not far enough. A great opening round as a whole, capped by this weekend. I mean,
really good opening round. Really good opening round.
But what a storyline.
I just don't know if you've ever had, so this guy gets traded by the Colorado Avalanche, goes to Carolina. Carolina ships him to Dallas. He gets his long-term deal in Dallas. He's losing to his former club going into the third period of a Game 7. And he picks up a hat trick and an assist to lead his new team back against his former club. I don't know if anybody's ever had that period in the history of the National Hockey League. Like, that might have been the best period ever. You get a revenge hat trick and 4-point period in the third period of a Game 7 to lead your team back to a victory.
2-0 down.
They're down by 2.
And Mackenzie Blackwood, whom, again, was murmured quite a bit.
You know what? The Avs should have traded for Pickard.
8-3-3. Keep them in.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Lots of kind of angles there, but you're right. Mikko's revenge, man.
Name a better period. With all things considered.
And to cap it with the empty netters.
When that puck got in behind the D, I looked and it was sugar 96.
Time.
I was you've got to be kidding me. I mean, if you have it off the top of your head, name a better period than what Rantanen put together. And I'm just not sure. Have players maybe have had better periods? Maybe, but not in a Game 7. Not in the third period against your former club.
It's the storyline attached. Maybe you can look at points, production, that type of thing, but this whole... in the Game 7?
Is that a better storyline finish than Winnipeg scoring 2 in the final 2 minutes, including the latest game-tying goal in Stanley Cup playoff history, and then winning it in double overtime with their captain scoring the winner?
And Hellebuck.
I still think Hellebuck will blow it for him at some point.
But I mean, he gets past this hump. I still think it's got to be Rantanen, though. Marty Netchus is 0 points, -1 on the evening as well, just to kind of add a salt to that wound. I'm taking the Rantanen. That's not to say what happened in Winnipeg wasn't. I mean, that was, as I was telling you earlier, I mean, listening to Hanering call the game, it was like he was sitting on the couch with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, we were all just...
He totally stopped calling the game, was just reacting to it.
Not having a dog in those fights and just being able to sit down with no stress and let it go, let her buck.
It was so good.
Wow.
Marsh and I watched final minutes of the third, and then I let him stay up to watch all of the first overtime. Couldn't let him do second overtime, though. It was too late.
That's being a kid, though. Stanley Cup playoffs.
He's
like, you can watch one overtime, and then you're like, then you go to bed not knowing if it's gone to 5 or 6.
He has no idea what happened after that. Yeah, he did tell me, he goes, Daddy, if they score early in overtime, I might still be laying here awake. You can come tell me. I was just like, okay, I will. It was a big day yesterday for our kids because it was
Well, they got to see Danny pressure wash the
May the 4th. May the 4th.
May the 5th be with you.
Yeah, today's May the 5th. It's
Cinco
not
de Mayo,
necessarily,
Is that what it is today?
What a day.
Cinco
What
de
a
Mayo?
back-to-back days, eh?
Yeah, it's quite a stat.
Yeah. We were trying to find like a Star Wars movie being shown in a theater somewhere, but there was one down at Fort Edmonton, but it was all sold out. Thought there might be more, but whatever. We had a good day. We watched 3 episodes of Ahsoka. They're into Ahsoka right now, so that was good. Shane Clausen over there says Gagne had 5 points in his third period.
Shane.
Yeah, but I mean, nothing against Sam Gagne and 5 points to get an 8-point night, but this is a Game 7 third period against your former club where it was very talked about like you leaving, and I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever. I think that might be the greatest period anybody's ever played with what was on the line stakes wise.
Yeah,
and the situation. Like it just bloody ridiculous.
And a lot of people taking Colorado to win that. Like they outshot him.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, Dallas find a way.
You could not argue against all odds, but against some perhaps.
NBA Nuggets advance. See Russell Westbrook take that technical foul for the dunk and then hanging on the rim, and he didn't care and he got off, and they were up by like 30. Nuggets advance and the Warriors advance. Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
The Buddy Hield game.
Yeah.
What do you have, 9 threes?
Yeah. The Rockets will be making an appearance in the good, bad, and ugly. I'll let you guess which one, but
I bet you it's
you think the Kings have a rough time with the Oilers, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
tough look there from the weekend. All right, on the way, here's what we got. The good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up around 6:45. Up next, can the Oilers do this? Oh. Can the Oilers do that? And how the hell did Vegas actually beat Minnesota? If you go look at their numbers, I mean, there's no way they should have won that series with some of their individual performances.
Luck? Get it?
Because of Vegas.
Gambling.
Vegas, luck,
when you
gambling.
Need luck.
I get it.
Luck be a lady.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I always thought it was mock me a lady. But it would make more sense with luck.
Mock me?
I don't know. Mock me a lady. Mock.
Oh, mock. So what do you think is happening there in the mock me?
Never really listened to the lyrics of it. I always thought that main part was mock me a lady tonight. But luck be a lady. That makes way more sense now that we look at it that way. All right. Well, let's get to a sports update. On the other side, can the Oilers blank? We'll get into that as we work our way through the show of the good, bad, and ugly presented by the 780. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for your boys. Let's change 150 by the time we get through this update with Lieutenant Eric, Craig Button, Ryan Rishaug, also on the way on a Monday to get you set for the Oilers and the Golden Knights. We'll get into all of that. But first, sports update with LT.
Adam Lowry scoring at 16-10 of double overtime. Jets take Game 7 over the Blues 4-3 from Winnipeg. Jets will now face the Stars in round 2. That series will begin Wednesday from Winnipeg. Tonight, Game 1 between the Leafs and Panthers from Toronto. Puck drop around 6-ish. Game 1 between the Oilers and Golden Knights. That goes tomorrow night down in Vegas at 7:30. Over to the NBA, Steph Curry had 14 of his 22 points in the fourth as the Warriors would take Game 7 of the Rockets 103-89. Warriors will face the Timberwolves tomorrow. Conference semifinals beginning yesterday as well as the Pacers would take Game 1 on the road 121-112 over the Cavaliers. Pair of games tonight, Celtics host the Knicks at 5 and Denver visit OKC at 7:30. Toronto Blue Jays fall to the Guardians 5-4 yesterday. Cleveland would take 2 of 3 from the weekend set. Jays now 16-18, 3 games back of the Yankees. They'll hit the road for a 6-game trip beginning tomorrow night against the Angels. Over to golf, Scotty Scheffler closed out the CJ Cup shooting a 63, finishing at 31 under par, while Bryson DeChambeau with a 2-shot victory at Live Golf Korea, his first title since winning the U.S. Open last summer. Up next, we'll take a deeper dive into the Oilers and Golden Knights second round series as the Nielsen Show continues. Hour 1 here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Very impressive. Taken a few years to put all this together.
It's not a one-year quest because it's so hard to get your hands on. At this stage of my life, I don't invest in green bananas. It's a lifetime quest. Just not sure if I'm going to be around long enough to see them ripen to be yellow. You can't party enough when you win that thing. It's a party machine. Party machine. That's why it's the Stanley Cup. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. What's going on? Thank you very much for being here. It is the Nielson Show on Edmonton Sports Talk. Edmonton Sports Talk now presented to you by Play Alberta. Use the code 100sports. Deposit $20 right now, new user or existing user. Deposit $20 and you will get a $100 free bet if you use the code 100sports. It's 100 sports, all caps, no spaces. All right, we've got the good, bad, and ugly from the weekend coming up. Coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. If you're looking for a bite to eat for lunch today, go check out their value menu available at all Popeyes locations. Get to a few more of your text messages as the inbox continues to stay busy. Strummy over in the chat. I once met a guy who thought the tragically hip song 50 Mission Cap was actually called Nifty Fishing Cap. I never said anything. He's still out there.
Just let him go with it.
Nifty
no need to
Fishing Cap.
Don't mind that. It could work.
That's pretty good. Morinville Steb texts in this morning to the Paris Jewelers inbox, says, Dusty, my dad did the best thing when I was growing up. If it got too late for me to watch the game, I would have to go to my room and lie down. But I could listen to the game on the radio. And the rule was, if I was still awake and the goal was scored, I could come down and see the highlight. Of course, most of the time, I fell asleep before the game was over. But it made it a heck of a lot easier to go to bed knowing that I wasn't missing anything. That's kind of a cool...
meet in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat thing. I do like that. All right, so the Winnipeg Jets survive Game 7. The Dallas Stars survive Game 7. They will meet in the other conference semifinal. The Edmonton Oilers get the Vegas Golden Knights on this side. And I was just sort of diving into some of the numbers on the Golden Knights last night. Start to kind of get a feel for what we should expect in this series. And I was kind of stunned. And I threw it out there legitimately. Like, in the first round, Vegas's leading scorer was Thomas Hertl. He had 5 points in 6 games. I think Eichel had 5 points in 6 games as well. Aiden Hill had an .880 save percentage. Mm-hmm. Their power play was 7th in the first round, and their penalty kill was 8th. How do you win? Like, yes, the Oilers didn't have a great save percentage for part of that series either, but I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl combined for 21 points in 6 games. These guys, and if you go look, all their top guys are minus guys.
Yeah, Hertl and Eichel 5 points each leading the team.
And what was their plus minus?
-4 for Eichel, -2 for Hertl. But I do find
but their power play was only 7th. Like, how did they win this?
When you run numbers from one round, I do find it funny because it doesn't. Like, the numbers obviously tell the better story with more samples, right? Like, so one round, you just like my answer to you would be opportunistic.
Yeah, like did they just luck out of this series? Like, how did they win this series?
Certain situations and scenarios, you find your way on the right side of the ledger, but it is kind of mind-boggling when you look at the numbers. And I mean, their points are distributed quite evenly throughout the lineup. Like you could argue, but yeah, it's tough to look at all that and then look at what the Oilers and Kings kind of put up in that series and the number of scoring. And
like, when you look at Vegas's stats in the first round, do they look like a daunting task for the Edmonton Oilers?
Well, no, but
I'm just saying.
I know we like to use numbers sometimes to our advantage, but then they can also be used to a disadvantage.
Okay, here's the 3 things that I think we have to ask about the Oilers heading into this series against Vegas. And then we'll get to the good, bad, and ugly. And you can chime in here as well. We'll probably save most of your texts for the fan zone coming up around 7:30 today. 1. Can the Oilers get off to a good start in this series? And if they don't, can they get away with it again?
A good start is a road split.
I'm saying, yeah. I don't think you need any more than that.
No.
Can you get a
Hell,
road
I would lose
split?
the first two just to
get it right where you want. No, don't do that again.
They play
That's
with
too
fire.
much playing with fire.
They're very good at playing with fire.
No, you still get burned sometimes.
They don't though. They have all the Kevlar. They know what they're doing.
But they did last year. Right? Like they played with so much fire that they were down 3-0 and eventually got burned in a game 7.
But they can do it.
I don't know if you can against Vegas' blue line.
But a good start would be a road split.
Yeah,
Yes?
but can they get the Trev?
Yeah.
What do you think? Can they get off to a good start against Vegas?
Can they? Yes, they can. Will they?
They have
I
to.
think they
got to get a split.
No, like
I
think. I like to think that they go in there with like all the confidence in the world right now. And you're looking at the revenge factor from a few years ago. That was a different Vegas Golden Knights team, quite different, but this is a different Oilers team as well. And I think they're hungrier than before. I think they're more skilled than before. I really like their chances, boys. Like I really think they're going to set the pace.
You think so? So you think they kind of pick up where they left off against the Kings?
I do, man. Like
You're back to being up to.
Well, it's tough to fully commit, but I'm so
This
I'm
guy is
so
so in
convinced,
right
man.
now.
Like I just want them to go
Careful.
in and just destroy, and then after game 1, just be like, holy crap! Like this team's a wagon. Like just from watching every other series thus far, like. I never felt like how I did with the Oilers. Like just watching the other teams, like the Oilers are just able to completely dominate a game and just bring it to the other team. And I didn't really see that for the other teams. And so I like their chances. And we're talking about the Vegas Golden Knights there. And I had the Minnesota Wild taken round 1. I really did. And I feel like at times the Wild just beat themselves. The Vegas Golden Knights had no answer for Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah.
A good, those two are really good, but you know who's better? Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And the last time Leon Draisaitl, he was feasting on the Golden Knights. So I really like their chances. I'm big. I think they'll do it, boys.
All right, here's the second the question of the day. Can the Oilers netminders, Pickard and Skinner, whatever the combination be, hold up to get the job done in round 2, or does goaltending come back to bite them in the ass in this series? And I know Stuart Skinner was in the starters net yesterday, but I think Knobloch was like, don't read too much into that. We'll discuss it with Rishaug. There's zero. You can't start Stuart Skinner again.
Well, I think you can. I think there's a reasoning, as you mentioned before the playoff. You know what your backup is capable of doing now. So if you want to try to get this other guy up and going, you know what you can rely on.
Oh, man.
That would be the argument. I'm not saying I agree with that.
No. I mean, that might be the argument, but it would be a ridiculous argument.
Fair enough.
You don't try to get somebody up and running in the playoffs. I mean, that just doesn't happen. Trev, what's your level of concern, if any, about the goaltending going into this series?
I think Stuart Skinner is not going to play in this series.
You don't think he's going to play? I see RCN over in the chat saying he thinks Skinner plays more minutes than Pickard in round 2. And I don't know which side I want to side with here on what might actually happen.
I don't know, man. I thought Pickard was, pretty steady, aside from, a few lapses there, but I like his chances. And I really think when he lets in a goal, the team doesn't deflate nearly as much. But when Stuart Skinner,
when Pickard lets in a goal, you don't see like a letdown.
I feel like they're, they want Stuart Skinner to succeed so much, and they put so much pressure on him that when he lets in a goal, it's really deflating for the team, just because they root for him so much, and he's their guy, right? He wants them. The team wants Stuart Skinner to succeed. And as for Calvin Pickard, I mean, they don't really have those expectations for him. So when he's in and he gets the save and, he lets in a goal, it's like, it's whatever. I don't think they think too much on that. So I don't know. I thought he played great. I'd give it to him. Even if he loses a game, I'd still give it to him. I thought he was far superior in round 1.
I don't know what I'll say if they start Skinner in this series. Like, if they come out and get a game 1.
It's an organizational.
That might be the most ridiculous goaltending decision I've ever seen in my entire life. Your other guy comes in, wins 4 in a row, the only undefeated goaltender in all of the playoffs. And you're like, you know what? Got to get Skinner going.
Because
can't do it.
If he craps the bed in game 1, that's just what does that do for Skinner? But what does that do for the team as well? They're going to be like, what the heck are we doing? They're going to be so down in the dumps. You got to start with Pickard. He earned it.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense to me to go any other direction.
And then that's kind of how it was last year with Stuart Skinner. He won the series. He plays the next one. And depending who you ask, Stuart Skinner earned it last year, right? So it has to be Pickard to start game 1.
What say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube, we were 41 likes away from changing 200. We would love to do that here, obviously, as soon as possible. So give us that thumbs up. No reason to save it. Casino Dealer Jay says, I feel like they will only switch goalies when Pickard, we should say if Pickard loses 2 in a row. That's what I would do. If Pickard loses game 1, I still go back to Pickard in game 2. I would. And then, if he loses game 2, you at least can put Skinner in coming home.
Ugh.
Which might be, I don't know. That's supposed to be a better place for a goalie. I don't know.
But if he plays okay and loses, like if he makes some really good saves.
If he plays okay and loses both of the first 2.
Yeah, I'm still putting him in.
You would still go back to Pickard in game 3?
Yeah, I think so.
I could be convinced on that one.
Yeah.
I could be convinced on that one.
As long as it's not like, okay, get him out. Like it's glaring, then
I think for sure it's got to at least be Pickard's net until he loses 2 in a row. But we'll see how the Oilers approach that. And then here's the other angle that I wanted to look at. Can the Oilers soften up the Knights' blue line? Kane, Perry, Frederick, Podkolzing, among others. To me, the one area and the only area where Vegas has the clear advantage is their blue line. Between the pipes, Aiden Hill wasn't great in the first round. We'll see what Aiden Hill is. I'm not worried about Aiden Hill, standing on his bloody head and just denying McDavid Draisaitl over and over and over and over again.
You bested a Vezina candidate here in the opening round. So
yeah, a system goalie. But still.
Yeah.
To me, it comes down to this blue line, and can the Oilers make life difficult for what Vegas is rolling out there on the back end? If those guys aren't pressured, if those guys aren't hit, if those guys have time to make plays and get the puck out, that's going to be a lot of trouble for the Edmonton Oilers. So we will see. They've got the bodies to do it. It's just a matter of if they're able to kind of beat down that Vegas blue line a little bit. I think that could end up being the difference in the series, to be honest with you. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in. When they were playing the Kings, and I think when it was probably 2-2, I don't know which show I said it on, but I thought whoever came out of the Los Angeles Edmonton series would beat Vegas this year. So I do think the Oilers can beat Vegas. Probably going to be on Dallas over Winnipeg in the other series, but I don't know. I like their chances against Vegas. Maybe I'm being a homer here for the local club, but
drunk the Kool-Aid.
Maybe that's what it is. Brandon from Windsor is in at 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. Healthy Leon this go around should make a huge difference as well. Hashtag the fan zone. Yes, we all remember what happened last time between Vegas and Edmonton. Brandon Not Manning says, stick with the hot hand. Let picks have the net. Rush the Beer League goalie says, Skinner has proven to be really good after getting benched/rested. That being said, you cannot go back to him in game 1. You ride Pickard until you can't. Edmontonian in Ontario says, I've always been a big Skinner guy. Start Pickard. The Edmontarian is just like, no, doesn't matter. Hey guys, it's Gus. For what it's worth, the 2 months guys are saying Skinner is starting. Not sure how they do it, but they always seem to be right on those things. Thanks, Gus. Well,
you're going by who's in.
Probably Stoff texts them the information. We'll see.
I think
I would be stunned.
I would be stunned with this team and how their adoration for Stewart. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it should catch you off guard. I understand that any other franchise you'd go with the hot hand, but Stuart Skinner is their guy.
Imagine not starting the only goalie in the playoffs that hasn't lost yet.
I get it. I can.
Whose decision was this? Dustin Schwartz? Right? That's what people would say.
Yeah.
That's what people would say. All right. Well, we will see how this works. 780-218-9999. MH is in and says, because my fear is the opposite. Vegas plays a heavy game. Can they wear down the Oilers defenseman?
Yeah, those questions go both ways. It's fair. I mean, Ekholm is still not back, right?
He's not back. He will not be back here in the second round. I wanted to just because we were talking about defensemen. Hockey Stats Cards pointed out that Cam Fowler led all defensemen in rating in the first round. You know who the next 3 defensemen were in the rating from Hockey Stats Cards? Jake Wallman, John Klingberg, and Brett Kulak. No. I swear to God, I can't make this up. According to Hockey Stats Cards, Fowler, Wallman, Klingberg, Kulak, Parayko, Seth Jones, Thomas Harley, Cale Makar, Devin Taves, Brett Pesce were the top 10 defensemen in the first round. Once again,
Broberg nowhere to be seen.
Wallman, Klingberg, and Kulak.
Interesting.
No Broberg anywhere.
I was getting lit up on the X over the weekend.
Were you?
Well, I tweeted before the game that he had no points through 5 games. Then he had a couple of points. So like, this aged well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, you can't.
I love it. This aged well. Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, it's dark out. Then the sun comes up. What an idiot. Well, yeah, I mean, he then recorded points past the 5 games.
All right, 780-218-9999. Craig Button's going to join us in about 10 minutes' time. We'll get his thoughts on the wild Game 7 action over the weekend, and then obviously the Oilers and the Golden Knights. Let's get into our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend, brought to you by the 780, where our Can I Get a Winya? Those shirts are either going to be available by pre-sale or they'll actually be available in store. One is orange, one is blue. I think you'll like them so much you'll want to buy 2. That could be a thing. If you've not yet picked up one of our NWO style EST shirts, they are sold out at a few locations, and certain sizes are sold out, I think, at all locations. Ador's working on that as well. But yeah, this is a great partnership that we have with them. So the EST NWO style shirts, ones that are left are available in store. And then we are working on, we're currently working on this Can I Get a Winya shirt as well. So make sure you pop on by Premium Outlet Mall, by the airport, Southgate, Londonderry, St. Albert Center, and Kingsway Mall is where you can go and check out the 780. All right, what's your good from the weekend?
My good from the weekend is going to be going back to the Jets and Blues Game 7.
Marshall jumped off the couch when the Jets tied it. We couldn't believe that just happened. Because, Trev, as you said, we were talking about today, when Ehlers fanned on the first attempt from the point, you're like, oh, it's over. There's not enough time left.
I threw my pillow to the floor and I went to the fridge.
You left?
Yeah, I left. I got up. I'm like, damn it. And my dad's just a diehard Jets fan. And I was like, I was rooting for him, right? I'm like, that's crappy. And then all of a sudden I hear, goal, they tie. I'm like, what's going on? That was incredible.
He fans on it, trickles right to Lowry. Lowry gives it back to him, throws it across to Connor.
What a tip.
Connor puts it towards the net and Perfetti with it. I mean, how is that not a good, right, from the weekend?
Yeah,
My goodness.
Again, if you have no skin in the game, you can just sit and enjoy it and watch the carnival that was. I mean, it was entertaining. It was back and forth. I mean, aside from the winning goal, you're getting late in the second overtime, the tying it up. Even earlier on in the game, John Garrett talking about Hellebuck and and everybody's opinions on whether or not they would have pulled him or not. So yeah, I had a little bit of everything.
I think my favorite thing was I don't know if it was an overtime or double overtime, but we're talking Game 7 overtime here. And John Garrett at one point goes, "So Sidney Crosby's going to the World Championships."
God bless him.
I was like, "What are you talking about, man?"
I know it's off topic, but I just wanted to. I thought that I raised my eyebrows there.
Garrett's had a hell of a run. Don't get me wrong.
I love him.
But that was
hilarious.
the wrong time to bring up Sidney Crosby's going to the World Championships.
Maybe the right time.
That was wild to me.
You know what I read today? Yeah, I was just like, what?
Yeah, like they're getting ready for an offensive zone faceoff. You know what I read today? Sidney Crosby's going to the World Championships.
It's been a lot of game. He's just trying
That was insane.
fill the time.
God, I don't know where that came from. That was amazing, though. We are 13 likes away from changing 200, so hammer the thumbs up for us over there on YouTube. Here's my good from the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw it. Every single horse in the Kentucky Derby was a descendant of Secretariat. All 19 of them.
Got around.
There were 19 horses in this thing, and Secretariat was their great grandpa of like every single, not of, like every single horse in the race was a descendant of Secretariat.
That's nepotism.
That's what it is.
It's how you want to define nepotism. You put that in the dictionary. Example 1.
All of Secretariat's kids get to run in the Derby.
Okay, that's what it is. I was just going to ask. You might have to dumb it down for me. So Secretariat was like the Gretzky.
Yeah, Secretariat was Wayne Gretzky
of horses,
of horse racing.
Michael Jordan of horses, you could say something.
I mean,
along those lines.
it's debatable because,
okay,
you know,
Wayne Gretzky gave birth to
Wayne Gretzky sired Secretariat, and the Secretariat, So all 7 of his, all 19 of the horses that race in the Kentucky Derby come from the bloodline of Secretariat.
Damn.
I know.
Good genetics.
I feel like every other stud horse of all time sucked. You know, like it's just like, Secretariat's blood's in this horse.
The glue sells for like $1,000 a bottle.
It's
just
the most
the top of the line
glue of all time.
Yeah. Did your guy win there? Who did you have?
Well, I was hoping for Owen Almighty.
It was a wet one, eh? It was
a mutter. Mutters were a mutter of a mutter. I did not watch the Derby. I was at the movies.
I just missed the Derby.
Yeah. I didn't even go back and actually watch like the full race after because it's so quick.
I like them wet.
I mean, Secretariat must have been a mutter. 19 mutters going here.
The jeans, yeah.
What's your bad from the weekend?
My bad from the weekend, and I told you when you mentioned the NBA earlier, the Houston Rockets losing again to the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs 5 times since 2015. The Warriors have bounced the Rockets 2015 and 5, 2016 and 5, 2018 and 7, 2019 and 6, and this year in 7.
Different Rockets team now.
Doesn't matter.
But you know what's funny is that
it's a franchise haunting you.
A guy who's on some of those Rockets teams is actually my bad from the weekend. Game 7, James Harden strikes again. 7 points in 35 minutes.
It's hard.
In Game 7. James Harden, arguably the biggest perennial loser in NBA history, fails to get it done again. Had 2 field goals in Game 7. This is a guy who can get 30 in his sleep, ends up with 7 in a Game 7, and James Harden continues to be James Harden. That one sucks.
89 on home court.
That's embarrassing.
But he healed. Have a day.
Absolutely embarrassing stuff. All right, and what's your ugly from the weekend?
Is that your bad as well, was James? We both went to the Rockets, eh? For the bad.
Yeah.
Hashtag association.
Well, Harden's not a Rocket.
No, I know, but I mean, just kind of
tied into it. Yeah.
Ugly will be Colorado Avalanche fans for Mikko's revenge. Stars Avalanche Game 7. That has got to be. We were looking at it from Mikko's point of view and a Stars fan, but for an Avalanche fan, knowing that's how your season ends, that's an ugly way to end. That'd be like somebody on the Blues coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do the math there. We understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, Mikko up 2-0 as well. And Mackenzie Blackwood, your top prized goaltender, the best goaltender in the league, best goaltender hockey's ever seen, not having a good night as well. So just all around an ugly Game 7 for the Colorado Avalanche.
My ugly was PK Subban's first round bracket. You see that piece of garbage?
Oh, no.
Tell me.
He went 2 for 8.
Ooh.
I'm referring to the bracket as a piece of garbage. 2 for 8 in the first round.
Yikes.
I had the entire Eastern Conference incorrect.
Really?
Picked the other 4 teams. decided to take New Jersey and Montreal in the first round.
That's dumb.
It's like somebody at ESPN has said, hey, PK, we want you to be as ridiculous as you possibly can be. And he's just doing it in spades. Like it's one of the worst brackets I've ever seen in my entire life. Does have Vegas winning the cup. So I guess that is still alive. But that was one of the ugliest brackets I have ever seen. Went Ottawa, Montreal, New Jersey in the first round.
Well, he's going, I mean, that's a Ottawa, Montreal. I mean,
but did they tell him, hey, man, put together the stupidest bracket.
Pick all the underdogs
you could possibly come up with.
But that's like doing a March Madness, though, and picking like Duke to win it. They go on to win it, but you picked all of like first round upsets. Like you, bracket's totally busted, but then you'll go on
the rest of your bracket is awful. Dex texts in and says PK with an Eastern Conference reverse sweep. Timber Woodsman says PK is a clown. Atif says Secretariat was a busy boy way back when.
Stud.
I do like, what was it? You came up with the horse nepotism?
They're all Nepo babies, yeah. Rusty Shackelford says, and one horse had ties to Toby Keith. Hashtag Achy Breaky Podcast.
That's a good one. I think VR Montenegro might have the front runner for text of the day today. The way Secretariat got around, you'd think he played in the NBA. That's kind of funny. Big Slam Nazi says, John Garrett bringing up Sidney Crosby in Game 7 overtime. It's like me bringing up my indigestion problems in the middle of a town hall meeting.
Russian Spa Guy says, Garrett was like Jack talking about a random movie, then Louis says he's never seen it.
Bones is in. It says, Secretariat to all the Phillies. Good, mock me a lady tonight. Jason LeDuc has referred to the Kentucky Derby as a Nepo event. I'll have to remember that for next year. All right, the inbox is moving nicely today.
Pat in the county says, I was saying the same thing to my son up at the Crosby thing during the game, too. You just ran on a national broadcast. I mean, that's
so weird for a Game 7 overtime drop. Like, yeah.
Oh, what are you eating afterwards?
All right, that is your good, bad, and ugly, brought to you by the 780, home of the EST NWO style shirt, and soon to be, whether it's in store or online pre-sale, the Can I Get a Win Ya shirt. There we go. Craig Button is on the way for Pro-Am Sports. Play Alberta early bird bet of the day. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. And that's a good. Still to come in hour number 2 today. We have changed 200 here in the 6 o'clock hour on a Monday.
Wow. Changing 200.
Let's keep her rolling. 300, 400 by 7:30. If you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for us. We are less than 80 subs away from 12K as well, which is exciting. Help us make that push to 12,000 subs on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate that. Craig Button to recap wild Game 7 action from the weekend, and of course, to set up the Oilers and the Golden Knights. That is all on the way. Let's get to a sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric.
Adam Lowry scoring the winner at 16-10 of double overtime as the Jets take Game 7 over the Blues 4-3. Jets will now take on the Stars in round 2. That series will begin Wednesday from Winnipeg. Round 2 kicking off tonight when the Leafs host the Panthers. Puck drop at 6. Game 1 between the Oilers and Golden Knights goes tomorrow night down in Vegas at 7:30. Steph Curry had 14 of his 22 points in the fourth as the Warriors take Game 7 over the Rockets 103-89. Warriors will face the Timberwolves tomorrow. Conference semifinals began yesterday as the Pacers taking game 1 on the road 121-112 over the Cavaliers. A pair of games tonight, Celtics at home to the Knicks and Denver visit OKC. Toronto Blue Jays followed the Guardians 5-4 yesterday as Cleveland would take 2 of 3 from the weekend set. Jays will now hit the road for a 6-game trip beginning tomorrow night against the Angels. Over to golf, where Scotty Scheffler closed out the CJ Cup shooting a 63. He would finish at 31 under par. Bryson DeChambeau, meanwhile, with a 2-shot victory at Live Golf Korea, his first title since winning the U.S. Open last summer. Coming up next, TSN's Craig Button for Pro-Am Sports as Hour 2 of the Nielson Show gets underway here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all of the bad cats like Rishaug and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramel, Rapaport, Drager, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him give him present. Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:03 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here. The Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Go see Daniel and the Dream Team out at South Fort Chev, www.southfortchev.com. Save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. Edmonton Sports Talk now presented to you by Play Alberta. Sign up today. Deposit $20. Use the promo code 100casino. And you will get a $100 casino bonus when you deposit $20. That is for both new and existing players. And of course, use your game sense when you're playing at Play Alberta. Great text messages rolling in here on this Secretariat. His bloodline being a part of all 19 horses at the Kentucky Derby.
Even some of the nasty chat. Oil 5 Darling says every Derby horse this year is a Semenial favorite, one could say, and spelling the...
I like this one from Jeffy. He says, nepotism, more like nepotism.
Brett near Lacon says, Sean Kemp is jealous of Secretariat.
Sean Kemp is jealous of Secretariat. Those are some good texts. Keep them coming in. It's probably how you can win text of the day today for A&W. Keep pounding that Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. All right, hour number 2. We'll get the fan zone coming up. We'll get to your Play Alberta early bird bet of the day. And that's a good on the way as well. Craig Button is going to start the hour for us. And as always, brought to you by our partners at Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Gear up for the playoffs with Oilers car flags, 3x5 flags, decals, jerseys, hats, and t-shirts, all in stock now. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail on 128th Ave or online at proamsports.ca. The annual Nielsen Kids / Nielsen Family counting of cars with flags on them is well underway. I think we're already well up over 120.
Season on.
Last year, they got over 1,000 because it was such a deep run into the postseason.
Rough math,
so,
eh?
yeah.
Probably
Marshall and Muzz are very focused on the car count for sure. The other day I said, Marshall, that car's got 2 flags. He goes, Daddy, we only count cars, not flags.
Oh,
is it okay? Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
All right, let's bring in Craig Button for Pro-Am Sports. Craig, are you a big Kentucky Derby guy? Did you get your Kentucky Derby fix over the weekend?
Oh yeah, I do love. My dad loved horse racing. He never bet on horse racing, but he always kept track. And if he would bet, he did. It was unbelievable, and the horse racing was always on. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Muhammad Ali's quote about Secretariat. Are you familiar with that quote?
I don't. No, I'm not off the top of my head.
They asked Muhammad Ali if you could come back as any athlete, who would you like to come back as? He said Secretariat, because when you retire, they put you out to stud.
Oh, that's a good one. Craig Button with us this morning. We're going to get to the Oilers and Golden Knights, obviously, but we got to start with these 2 Game 7s over the weekend. We asked the question earlier, like, did Mikko Rantanen have, considering the stakes and what was against, was that like the best period in the history of the National Hockey League by a player for Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah, I don't think try to find another one. How about this, Dustin? How about back-to-back games with best periods? Yeah. I mean, Game 6, I thought that Game 6 was over after the performance in the second period. Then the Dallas Stars seemingly down and out, and Mikko Rantanen, unbelievable performance. Like an unbelievable performance by Mikko Rantanen. And I think what makes it even more incredible is you talk about the dagger into your former team's heart. Unbelievable. Ray Ferraro was on the call for ESPN. He said, I can't tell you what he said, but it was heartfelt.
Roller coaster as well in Winnipeg last night, Craig. Leaving it till the very end to tie things up, double overtime. Just your thoughts on that whole wild scene and one of the more physical series as well from the opening round.
Yeah, I think, Eric, we've come to expect that the playoffs are going to be physical, and certainly Winnipeg and St. Louis, put it on full display. It was so amazing to just sit back and watch. When Nemesnikov scored, you're going, okay, minute 55, they got a chance. They have a chance. And one of the things that you watch happen too, and it was really interesting. There was a timeout. There was a goal kind of review. Like, did the puck cross the goal line? There was some icings. So Scott O'Neill had rested players. Remember what happened last year in Game 7 with the Oilers? Like, they couldn't get a timeout. They couldn't get their top players rested. In the last minute of the game, they had nothing. They had no gas in the tank. So for the Winnipeg Jets, they had lots of gas in their tank because there was all these time between icings, the review on the goal, everything, a TV timeout. So their players were well rested to get after it. And it's interesting when you watch a team kind of sag. Like, I know how St. Louis plays, but it looked like they sagged. It looked like as the game was going on, they were sagging more and more and more. When you look at the third period, the first overtime, the second overtime, I know St. Louis had a couple of quality chances, but they weren't that ferocious forechecking on you team in the first overtime or the second overtime game. And I thought Winnipeg, you talk about pulling one out of your hat. The Winnipeg Jets did exactly that. And I'm Dr. Seuss.
Great fun with us on the show this morning. I was thinking that before you said it. I thought that was funny. Quickly on that series, before we move over to the Oilers here, who do you like, Jets or Stars? What's that series come down to?
Yeah, well, I don't know when Heiskanen and Robertson are coming back, but I think Nathan McKinnon nailed it. He said they were missing their best defenseman and maybe their best forward in Jason, or one of their best forwards in Jason Robertson. We couldn't beat them. If Scheifele isn't healthy, if Morrissey isn't healthy, I think it's just an uphill battle. When they got through that first round, Dallas against Colorado, knowing they're getting Heiskanen and Robertson back, I almost think it puts them right back into the front of the Western Conference contenders to get to the Stanley Cup final. So I have Dallas, just because of getting those two players back and a little bit of uncertainty around Morrissey and Scheifele.
Craig Button with us on the show this morning. If you're watching over on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Oilers and Golden Knights. What did we learn about Edmonton in the first round of the playoffs, Craig? What's your biggest takeaway moving into this second round?
I'm going to give you two. So the first one is they've been battle tested. They've been battle tested over the last number of years, and I think that came out in a big way. The other thing I'm going to say is I don't care if you're up 3-0 in a series. I don't care if you're up by 3 or 4 goals in the third period. The Edmonton Oilers have shown time and time and time again now that they are never down and out. Any team that thinks that they have the Edmonton Oilers down and out that are making a crucial mistake. There's no such thing as protecting a lead against the Edmonton Oilers because the Edmonton Oilers don't see any lead that's insurmountable. And we all know how great McDavid and Draisaitl are, but the depth of the Oilers really shone through. I think that the biggest question at the beginning of the year, going into the playoffs, was how are they going to build out their team? No Ekholm, we know that's a significant absence, but the depth came through. But anybody that wants to sleep on the Edmonton Oilers, and I'm going to say it here right now, Chris Knoblauch is one of the NHL's best coaches. And I'm not talking about the X's and O's. He's got the courage of his convictions. He doesn't fiddle with the dials. He needs to do something. He does it. And he doesn't worry about being second guessed. He doesn't worry about what the ramifications could be. He's only focused in on what's best for his team and what he sees as best. I think he's been a brilliant tactician behind the bench. And I'm gonna give a little rant. I'm sick and tired of people in Edmonton go, oh, I'd like to see him get all mad. I'd like to see him lose it. Shut up, Edmonton fans. You got a great coach.
Well said, Craig, and that leads into my question here. Stuart Skinner getting some time in the starters net practice. Where do you think he goes with that, or is this just mind games from the brilliant tactician that you just mentioned?
I don't think Chris plays mind games, Eric. I think Chris says, this is the guy that gives me the best chance to win. We saw it last year. I mean, in a game, in games where they needed a goaltending change and a goaltending performance, I mean, that was in the second round. He went right to it. He never hesitated. He went here. I mean, so we go, okay, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games. You know, one thing about Chris Knoblauch, he's going to look at it and go, okay, do we have Stuart Skinner reset? Sometimes goaltenders just need a reset. We saw it last year in the playoffs. We saw Stuart come back and really play well. Now, if he's going to go with him, Chris Knoblauch is starting him because he believes that Stuart Skinner has reset. Calvin Pickard was excellent. There's no question. But when you're a coach and you know that, and you know you have that in your stable, if we're talking about Secretariat, you now have a real good opportunity to make the change and do it with confidence. So Stuart Skinner, we know he wasn't very good in the first few games against LA. Chris makes the change, but he's not going to be hesitant to go back to Stuart Skinner and say, hey, let's go.
A lot of talk here about the Golden Knights blue line, and the Oilers having some forwards in the first round that, as they got healthier, started to be a little bit more physical. Evander Kane is back. Frederick started to move a little bit better. Podkolzin can get in on the forecheck as well. You know, Corey Perry is going to do his damnedest to kind of, make those guys pay the price a little bit. How much of this series comes down, do you think, to that Golden Knights blue line, and how can the Oilers do their best to take advantage of it?
Well, I think there's a template there. The template was the Minnesota Wild, putting a lot of pressure on that blue line and forcing them into turnovers and putting them under duress. And certainly with the health now of the forwards you just mentioned, the willingness of that forward group to do it. And, it's not just, we talk about physical play, but, Connor Brown is disruptive. Connor Brown, we talk about playoffs. Yeah. Connor Brown raises his game, but he's disruptive. Colson's heavy. When you get playing against a really good blue line, you want to wear them down. You want to just kind of, game one starts, first shift, second shift. And I thought Minnesota did a really nice job of doing that. Let's be really clear here. Aiden Hill wasn't that great in the first round.
No, he wasn't.
So I think the Edmonton Oilers, having a chance to get after the blue line with more health and Evander looks like he's in playoff Evander form too, and which is a good thing for the Oilers. But get on that blue line because they don't give up a lot. Put them under pressure. Put them under duress, and I think that the Oilers, have a lot of belief now that they have a team that can have success. I think they gained it over the LA Kings series. They needed to gain that confidence. But I think they have it now, and I think you look at the Minnesota Wild, how they played against Vegas, I think it's a good template.
So you like the Oilers to beat the Golden Knights?
Listen, I thought that the Oilers were in tough against the LA Kings. I just said, don't rule them out. Right now, the Oilers are getting healthier. The Vegas Golden Knights are showing some vulnerability. You know what I think it comes down to? I think it comes down to the fact if Aiden Hill is not better than he was versus the Minnesota Wild, the Oilers will win because the Oilers have a lot more firepower, and the power play is good. I can't bet against the Oilers. When I do, I get burnt.
Craig, before we let you go, just because the other series gets going tonight, Toronto, Florida, the Leafs, what they did to get by Ottawa, does that carry enough momentum to stop a Florida team that looks like they might be a wagon again?
Yeah, they look like a wagon. I think that Brad Treliving, Anthony Stolarz has been terrific. So, you're not giving up anything in the net. On the blue line, he built a blue line that I think that is a template for playoff success. I think he's got a blue line. He needed to do that. You're not winning with a whole bunch of smaller defensemen in the playoffs. And certainly Brad recognized that, the additions of Tanev, the additions of Brandon Carlo, Oliver Ekman Larson. I think it's really built a really good, solid blue line. I think this series comes down to the third line and the depth of Florida, because I don't see where the Toronto Maple Leafs can match up on the third and fourth lines versus Florida. And further to that, like that first line, second line, third line, fourth line, they're just after you at every single turn. So it can wear down a defense. I don't think Toronto has the team built in the bottom end of their forward group, third and fourth lines, that can get Florida uncomfortable. I just don't.
Craig, as always, man, we really appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
There you go. That is Craig Button. You know what? We probably could have hit on the draft lottery bit with Button, but it just doesn't matter anymore here in Edmonton.
We don't talk about that stuff anymore.
Remember back in the day when today would have been the biggest day?
We ran that simulator like it was going out of style.
Oh, God, I do not miss those days. We had fun in those days, but I do not miss those days. Instead, we're sitting here getting text messages like this one from Pat in the county that says, can you imagine how many gift baskets Secretariat had to make?
Yeah, there's a Philip Rivers text as well.
Yeah, I got that one sitting right here, too. Yeah. Even Philip Rivers thinks that Secretariat should learn about birth control. That's a good one. Stoics99 says, has Nick Cannon considered racing all of his kids? Oh, those are good. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. All right. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are 40 away from changing 300, and there's well over 500 of you watching right now. By the way, we're making that big push up to 12,000 subs as well. So if you are watching right now and you've not yet subbed to our channel, there's a decent shot that we could take a legitimate run at it today. Across the station. So, Trev, give me that subscribe graphic there. Oh, you teased me. You teased me with the subscribe. There it is. Oh, subscribe. Look, it popped up. That's nice. Subscribe right there. Where Eric's pointing to right now. Give us a sub to the channel, because we would sure love to hit 12,000 subs here either today or first thing tomorrow morning. All right, so Button basically said, if Aiden Hill plays like he's getting into Minnesota, he likes the Edmonton.
But your thoughts on the Oilers goaltending situation as well when posed that question?
I thought it was an interesting. I just refuse to believe it.
But you understand why it could happen.
I don't.
With what Craig just said? And how Knobloch and Skinner and traditionally and all this stuff?
We've been saying they've been resetting Skinner the entire year.
I get it. Why stop now?
Every time he goes out, it's like, reset him now. Coming back from injury, going to reset now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And we'll get into it with Ryan Rishaug. What is the absolute latest?
He just tweeted out 9 seconds ago. You want to hear this?
Rishaug.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You want to hear this?
Do I want to hear it?
He quote tweeted a tweet from yesterday. The tweet yesterday says, won't read a ton into this, but Oilers skate
I remember that one.
Blah, blah, blah. He quote tweets that just now. Knobloch said not to read anything into this and didn't name a starter.
Yeah.
To reinforce that point.
Yeah. Okay, that's nothing new. But
and Craig said he's not playing mind games, so
he's 100% mind gaming this thing.
Exactly.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Are we getting to?
If it's not the case, then he is. And if he isn't, he's a man of his convictions, right?
Let's put up a poll on YouTube right now, Trev. Who should start game one?
Well, I think we all
Skinner
know
or Pickard?
Should, but who?
No.
Who will getting into the mind and who do you think they will do?
I just want to see who people think should. If
it's clearly Pickard. Pickard will have a 90-10 clip on that.
I would think it might even be more.
Sure.
This might be a 95-5 type of poll. First of all, I can't wait. Rishaug will join us at 8:30 today, and we'll get his thoughts on What are we doing here? I don't know. I can't imagine a world where you take the only goaltender who hasn't lost a game in the Stanley Cup playoffs and don't play him in game one.
Right?
It's not like he stood on his head and stole the series. But the other guy lost 2 games. This guy won 4. All right, so the poll is up over on YouTube. You can text us your thoughts here as well at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Do you buy into the theory and thought process that Pickard got the job done, Stuart Skinner is still your guy, and you reset and you start another series?
Factory reset. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. I don't.
80-20.
It's got to be more than that. I mean, it's got to be. Who's
what
this,
an upset.
Who is this hilarious 20%? Show yourselves. Put your hand up right now over the chat.
Buttons in the chat.
Yeah, buttons in the pad. He's just hammering. Click, 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 thumb, thumb, thumb. I would be stunned. Absolutely stunned. If that was the case.
I also put up 2 polls on X.
This timing out well for the fan zone, which is in about 5 minutes here.
Who should start net tomorrow and who will start net tomorrow?
You posted both.
The should is Kelvin 91.7 to Stewart 8.3.
Yes.
The will 50-50.
No. What is happening? What is happening right now? Pizza Boy texts in and says, yeah. I mean, there's just a bunch of text messages that are flying in here right now. I'll try to get to.
If you can factor in Oilers goaltending to Secretariat, we'd love to have it though. If you can find it.
I mean, that would. With that being said, I mean, nepotism more like nepotism. It's going to be tough to beat.
I like the
for
Phillip
text
Rivers.
of the day today.
Like a good old Phillip Rivers.
There's
drop.
lots of those. If you're
not bad.
if you're just joining us, and you're like, what are you guys talking about? We've been having some fun today with the fact that all 19 horses in the Kentucky Derby were descendants of Secretariat.
Sired.
Yeah, it's like. It's like 6 guys on the Timberwolves roster being descendants of Wilt Chamberlain. You know, it's a very essentially the same thing. Jared is in and says, is there even a way to play devil's advocate for Skinner? I'd like to hear it, actually. Well, Button kind of did.
Well, no, there is.
Button kind of did.
It doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but that would be the
devil's advocate angle here is, and I never saw that movie, Devil's Advocate. Does it not have Keanu Reeves in it?
Is that the one?
Is Keanu Reeves in Devil's Advocate?
I watched Rebel Ridge over the weekend. It was okay.
Nah, I didn't see it. We watched all of. Yeah, okay, he's in Devil's Advocate. We've watched every episode except the last one of White Lotus. And I know everybody says the final episode of White Lotus is amazing. I'll tell you right now, it better be because the first 7 have sucked.
You've struggled
My
through
God,
it.
I want to take the gun and go shoot that dad in the head.
Spoiler alert.
How many more thoughts does he have to have about killing his family? Like, just shoot yourself, man. Like, White Lotus is driving me crazy right now. Literally nothing has happened in the first 7 episodes.
You should watch Land of Bad with Russell Crowe.
I like Russell Crowe.
He's a drone operator for the military.
Oh,
it's pretty neat.
Please.
Yeah,
is that a Netflix special?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, 780-218-99. We're going to continue this conversation in the fan zone. Even the YouTube poll is angering me a bit. 76, like 24% of you are saying that Stuart Skinner should start game 1. Jen says, guys, I choose Skinner. It's game 1. And do we not have to get him going again? Have to see if he can redeem himself. If he loses, put Pickard in. No.
Whether or not you agree with that is the angle that people will take.
Pickard has been the better goaltender all year. He has better stats all year. He's been better in the playoffs. Like, why would you not start the guy who gives you the better chance to win?
He beat Vegas as well.
I don't understand. Can you imagine if we're sitting here Wednesday morning after game 1 and Stuart Skinner lets in 6 and they lose 6-3?
Yes.
The Oilers deserve that if that's the case. I mean, the one guy hasn't lost yet. Is this like only in our market type of thing? Is that what this is? Where it's like only in Edmonton?
Yes.
Would there be a goaltending controversy when one guy's 0-2 and the other guy's 4-0?
Kelvin's should right now is at 89.3. Kelvin's will is at 65.4.
I didn't even think this would be a conversation today. I planned for many conversations on the show today. I did not expect this to become one of them.
We haven't even got to the Jays yet.
Yeah, we're not going to get to the Jays. The Jays weren't even on the radar.
They're on the prep sheet.
They weren't even on the radar. They're not even on my sheets. So what are we doing here? All right, let's get to your Play Alberta early bird bet of the day. It is up. It is locked and loaded. Shout out to Fred Van Vliet and Steph Curry for both hitting the threes I needed on Friday for my social media Twitter play. 2-0 to start with that. We're going parlay hunting again here tonight. Glue Guy hit his Jays play of the day on Friday as well. If you have not yet signed up for an account, go to playalberta.ca, click sign up. If you have an account already, but you haven't used our bonus codes yet, go log into your account. And then when you put in a deposit, you use these codes. All right. We got a few different codes for you. Deposit $20 or more and use the code 100sports. You get a $100 free bet. That's for new and existing players. These offers expire in 7 days. So after you put in the code and you get your $100 free bet, don't wait for like 2 weeks and go back and go, it's gone. I'm telling you right now, you got 7 days to use it. You can use the code YEG50, deposit $5, you get a free $50 bet. That's also new and existing users. And then you hop in the casino as well. 100 casino, deposit 20 or more and get a $100 casino bonus. The casino bonus you cannot use to bet on sports. The sports bonus you cannot use in the casino. As that band once said, you gotta keep them separated. Lincoln
That's
Park.
how you listen to it, hey?
Yeah, that's how I listen to it.
I thought you maybe would have like deciphered it in a different way. Like you got to keep them in the cream separator.
Nope. I was thinking I'm a big rock and roll guy.
Rock bang.
All right, and you can use them both on the app or on the like a desktop. Here is your early bird bet today. We will have the play of the day from Twitter. It'll be posted on the EST specials page. Lock Shop Partner Parlay or something coming out of the Lock Shop today. The DJ and Dan will be working on their grandest of parlays. And then Jay's play of the day later on. So we'll usually have 5 to 6 bets on the EST specials page at playalberta.ca. A lot of fun launching this last week. Great partnership that we got with Play Alberta, locked and loaded, and we're just getting started. I still think it's cool going there and seeing odds boost, daily specials, EST specials right there on the quick links. Today's bet, I'm fading the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Florida Panthers just look too damn good. Florida Panthers look too good against Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm going Florida to win, and they are a road favorite tonight. Florida to win, Barkov, Tkachuk, and Reinhart to get points. One each. The big boys. Kind of sending a message to the Toronto Maple Leafs here in game 1 tonight. Panthers win, Barkov, Tkachuk, and Reinhart each with a point, plus 295 boosted over on the EST specials page at playalberta.ca. That is the early bird bet of the day. Panthers to win, Barkov, Tkachuk, and Reinhart each to get a point, plus 295. Bobo over in the YouTube chat says, Lincoln Park, come on, boys, the offspring.
You really hooked a guy on a Friday, hey?
He
got real good.
Yeah, come on, you guys. It's a bit. Jeez. Strummy. Offspring? That's Secretariat's band, right? Well done, Strum.
Beautiful.
Well done, sir. All right, the Fan Zone is on the way next for fansfirst.ca.
This is Secretariat, the father.
T-Mac, the rugby guy. Outstanding.
Jeez, that is a good one. Scotty Knows says, my $50 free bet rode with Jay on Friday. I tried it again yesterday, but Houston let us down. Hey, hey, at least it was a free bet. Hey, who had that one? Who had the father one? It was
T-Mac, the rugby guy.
T-Mac, rugby guy. Man, I've got so many guys already shortlisted here for text of the day today. Paris Jewelers Inbox is just a hilarious place today.
Might have to have a text off during the wrap.
God, I never heard of such a thing. Never heard of such a thing. All right, the Fan Zone is coming up next. I guess we have this goaltender conversation.
Yeah.
I was going to say, who or what is the key to a victory here?
I wanted to get to XG and driving the play 5-on-5.
Do you have those numbers?
I have a few.
Okay, well, we'll get to some numbers here coming up in the Fan Zone as well. Your thoughts on what they should do between the pipes?
What they will do.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. $99.
We all know what they should do.
Duffman texts in and says, Dusty, got to keep them separated is the offspring. Oh, Duffman takes a hit.
Oh, no, that's
the Fan Zone on the way after a sports update for Park Mazda. Here we go.
Adam Lowry scored at 16-10 of double overtime, leading the Jets over the Blues 4-3, taking Game 7 from Winnipeg. Jets now advance to face the Stars in Round 2. That series will begin from Winnipeg on Wednesday. Game 1 tonight between the Leafs and Panthers from Toronto, 6 o'clock. Game 1 between the Oilers and Golden Knights goes tomorrow night down in Vegas at 7:30. The Golden State Warriors, Game 7 winners over the Rockets, 103-89. Warriors advance to face the Timberwolves tomorrow. Conference semis began yesterday as the Pacers take Game 1 on the road, 121-112 over the Cavs. Pair of Game 1s tonight, Celtics at home to the Knicks at 5, and the Nuggets visit the Thunder at 7:30. The Toronto Blue Jays fell to the Guardians 5-4 yesterday, Cleveland taking 2 of 3 from the weekend set. Jays now 16-18. They'll hit the road for a 6-game trip, which begins tomorrow night against the Angels. Over to golf, where Scotty Scheffler closed out the CJ Cup shooting a 63. He finished 31 under par. Bryson DeChambeau, meanwhile, a 2-shot victory at Live Golf Korea, his first title since winning the U.S. Open last summer. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he thinks they should go with Rodrigue.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Oh yeah! Word on! You wanna win it? Game on, yeah! Oh, baby! It's time to play with disdain. If you wanna lift the cup again, push and shove and rough up. You know Connor's gonna get the win. And yes, they lift the cup again. Got no doubt in my head. And yes, they lift the cup again. Oh man, playoffs are insane. Playoffs are insane. Rock and righteous place. Rock and righteous place.
McDavid moving in with speed. He shoots. He scores.
Hop on this train and hang on. You know they got it, ain't no looking back. It's a tough road to the cup. Gotta win for in the best of sevens. And yes, they lift the cup again. Got no doubt in my head. And yes, they lift the cup again. Oh man, playoffs are insane. Playoffs are insane. Rock and righteous place. Rock and righteous place. Yeah. Playoffs are insane. Playoffs are insane. Rock and righteous place. Oh, rock and righteous place.
Pour it on. Zach Hyman moving in. Wrister shoots. Scores. Zach Hyman.
We'll crack a beer for this glorious time. You've been waiting. You've been waiting. The top line's just a flying, cause man, yeah, they want one. You know they want to. Can you feel it? Can you feel it tonight? Can't go high glove, cause Stewie Skins is a guy. It's the moment, yeah, they're rolling tonight. Get your hands up, right to the cup. And yes, they lift the cup again. Got no doubt in my head. And yes, they lift the cup again. Oh man, playoffs
that's got to be it. It is, and don't call me Shirley.
Did you hear Sidney Crosby's going to suit up for the...
You know what I read today? Nielson Show original songs brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. They sell, rent, and repair canoes and kayaks. I mean, they obviously have all the equipment that you're looking for other sports as well. They're not just a canoe and kayak store, but they sell, rent, and repair canoes and kayaks. So if you're like, oh man, I'd love to go kayaking or canoeing, but I don't have one and I don't really want to buy one, well, you could rent one. They have kayaks right now on discount as low as a staff discount. Whoa. No better
pricing.
time to buy a kayak than right now at Totem Outdoor Outfitters. You get that staff discount pricing.
Tell you, man, great way to see the city going down the river.
Just a little float down the river.
I'm telling you, man.
We'll get to that's good for the Italian Center coming up. The inbox is just having a lot of fun today with the
and they're off. Hey,
with the Secretariat stuff. Keep those ones flying in. And then, of course, it gets super serious. Late Night Lenny says, Secretariat, more like Secretariat. Abutsky says, Oilers fans overreacting to which goalies in the starters net in practice is as sure a thing as Secretariat getting some.
Yeah.
It's usually how it works. Shane in Evatrack says they really are SGs. I almost said it. They really are SGs if they don't ride the hot hand and play Pickard. 4 wins versus 2 losses. It's a no-brainer. Yep. The Fan Zone. Shane in Evatrack. Yes, let's dive into the Fan Zone right now. By fans, for fans, no fees. Start planning right now for games 3 and 4. You get a 7 o'clock Saturday night start for game 3. Edmonton, you've been waiting for times like this. 7 o'clock start. Game 3, Saturday night.
20 degrees in the forecast.
Oh,
that's
the wheelhouse. The wheelhouse. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
Yeah.
That'll be a good time.
Wheelhouse at the Ice House.
If you're Tommy Gazzolo will be there. Some of the stories Tommy's told me about Ice House. Have you heard some of these? Oh my God. I
can't even say them in the
Can't
hangout.
even say them on the air. You can't say them anywhere around here. That guy, eh? A handsome man.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Fan Zone. By fans, for fans, no fees. If you're looking for the most affordable way to get into games 3 and 4, it's fansfirst.ca. All right. What are they doing between the pipes here? I guess that's the question now. Who can... Now, I see Jen over on YouTube saying, if you're ever going to get Skinner back in, when do you do it? And if you want to be that, this would be the reasoning, I guess.
Yes, we're having a conversation.
Okay.
There's another side to it.
Let me be clear. I fully disagree with this. Okay? This is not my take. This is me playing the Keanu Reeves role in devil's advocate. If you're planning on going back to Stuart Skinner at some point in the playoffs, which they very well may be.
Yeah.
Do you go back to him with a series tied at 0 and give him the net back and say, we still got confidence in you? Or do you go back to him when things turn south for Pickard? And then at that point, you're saying, okay, man, now the pressure's on you. Now, with that being said, he's a professional athlete. Makes millions of dollars to play the position.
Not a lot of millions.
Should be ready to go regardless of the timing that he gets into it.
Great deal.
But is that what's happening here? Is that what we're witnessing? Are they going to say, look, we're going to go back to Skinner at some point. Maybe we go with him right off the top of this series and give him a true chance to reset.
Yeah. And I guess if you repeat that all very slowly again,
I don't want to. I didn't like saying it the first time.
Is Kelvin Pickard a goaltender you believe that can lead this team to a Stanley Cup championship? Now, you might think, sure, it could happen. There's lots of stranger things have happened in sports. But if you don't, then you say, well, you're going to have to maybe see a little Stuart Skinner at some point. Now,
but same answer. What's the question? That do you think Stuart Skinner can?
No, but together. That's the thing. So I'm just saying, and to Jen's point too, if you're going to get him up and running, and this was your theory heading into the playoffs, who would you rather have in that backup relief pitcher role? Who would you be more confident in if the chips are down? Going to a Pickard who you know has proven himself here? It's game one. This Oilers team can come back. I know you don't like them playing with fire, but they can play with fire. So if there's going to be a time, this would be the time. Not saying, again, that I would agree with it or do it. But if you're going to make a case for it, this would be it.
Let's make our statements right now. Who should start game one?
Pickard.
I'm also saying Pickard. YouTube, Trev, who should start game one?
Calvin Pickard.
It's unanimous.
Now, who will start game one?
Calvin Pickard.
Pickard.
Okay.
Are you going to say Skinner?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting times.
The
Fan Zone. Let's go. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We got to be blowing through 400 here right away. So there's no reason if you're watching today to save your thumbs up. As the great Reed Wilkins once said.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
There we go. The instant 400. Let's go. Hammer the thumbs up for us over on YouTube.
That's
today.
Milne laughing in the background. Right? That's what gets me every time is that Alan.
Sub to the channel if you haven't already. If you're listening over on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, thank you very much for that. If you wouldn't mind hopping over and subbing to our YouTube channel, it'd be great as we try to hit 12,000 subs. All right, let's get to some of your reaction in the Fan Zone. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in on this. Try to sort through some of these as Secretariat texts just continue to roll in. Steady says definitely on the fence with Skinner, but also a different team playing in front of him since his last win. So you're saying the team's playing better.
That's an astute point as well.
Go back to him.
Hey?
Colin the Amishman says the Fan Zone. Pickard starts game one and gets the benefit of the doubt if he plays two awful games in a row in Vegas, and I mean big softies, then you go back to Skinner and Edmonton. It seems weird, but it's looked like they play better in front of Pickard. Maybe because he has less of a history and they feel the need to insulate him a little bit more. This one is in no handle. It says play Pickard until they lose, then play Skinner. Oh, this is a good one. This comes in from Mabamba Guy and says, when you say the best deal, you're not kidding. I shopped around on a half dozen sites for game 4. Fans First was easily the best deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Fansfirst.ca. Buy fans, for fans, no fees. And then he also adds, that being said, I'm excited to see Pickard start the Fan Zone. Over on YouTube, Running Man says Skinner only comes in if Pickard bleeps the bed. Bretsky says we lost belief in Skinner last year in Vancouver and played great against Dallas. Time to give him another shot. Zulu says the Oilers never make things easy. Let's not start the 4-0 goalie because our other goalie needs to get back up to speed. Why do they need to go back to Skinner right now? What's the YouTube poll right now? 83% to 17%. So there are 17% of you out there who would start Stuart Skinner tonight or tomorrow night. Kevin Van Dossler says, let's be honest, it'd be the most Oilers move ever.
So I'm saying you can see it happening.
Troy says Pickard has to lose the net. Multiple games that had errors that were not his team's. There's no other scenario. So people are saying Pickard only loses the net if he gets 2 games in a row where he's just like the reason they lose. Then it's going back. Then
now you're going to Stuart Skinner down 2-0. Is that a sentence you want to hear? Again, I've always liked your thought heading in when you said Pickard's a good guy to have coming in that regard. Not to say that his play shouldn't be warranted or rewarded thus far, but from that point of view, in that scenario, you'd feel better going to that guy than going to Stuart.
I just can, and no matter what anybody says, no matter what we've said in the past, and Peter texts and says, you guys argued all year about how Skinner got him to Game 7 of the Cup final, that he's that guy that'll get him the Cup. Now you have doubt? You think a 33-year-old career NHL/AHL goalie has a better chance to win them the Cup? Here's what I would say. I don't care about any other story right now or any other narrative. The one guy is 4-0 in the playoffs. That guy starts game 1.
Hot hand.
This would probably be the first time in like the history of the National Hockey League that a guy who went 4-0 in the first round doesn't start game 2 or doesn't start game 1 in round 2. Honestly, that might not have ever happened outside of being injury related.
To win 4 straight. Yeah, down 2-0, win 4 straight.
No, that alone very rarely happens.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I'm not sure there's ever been a goalie that went 4-0 in the first round of the playoffs that didn't start round 2, game 1. Ever.
But add on coming in relief. Because that's even more like not expected to go 4-0. If you had a
So there are tons of there are ways to look at it and go, would you rather Skinner have to come in down 2-0 back in Edmonton? I get that. I understand that. There's let him reset, give him the net free. Okay, I get that too. But the bottom line is the one guy is 4-0 and took over the net when the team was reeling and had a couple of pretty good games in there statistically. That guy gets the net for game 1. Then you go from there. I mean, if you want to have a short leash on Calvin Pickard and get back to Stuart Skinner, that's fine. But when you're 4-0, you get the net to start the second round. Burglar is in and says, Pickard starts but with a short leash. Otherwise, you end up like Winnipeg, not knowing what your backup will give you until it's too late. Yes, I know they won.
Having Pickard on a short leash, though, is quite funny as well after going 4-0 in the opening round.
Captain Crunch says, put Skinner in now, and he knows that he has a good backup behind him if he falters. Just play the guy who won you 4 games. Krager says, Oilers seem to have poor game 1 performance more often than not. Keep picks in for game 1. Got to get that defensive game going before putting in Skinner.
Ken says, I do not like the idea of starting Skinner after Picks play, but if you're going to do it, it's got to be game 1. Picks can get you the split if he loses. #fanzone.
But why are we planning for like a loss?
I think planning for a loss.
Leave the guy in who wins. Dave Schmidt. Oh God, Dave, I love you. Dave Schmidt texted over the YouTube chat says, "Hey, I just read that McKinnon joined Team Canada 2025 World Championships." Well done, man. That's good. That's really good. All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. We are 37 likes away from changing 400. So let's hammer that thumbs up for us. Marco Tassoni says it'll be Calvin Pickard. Knobber's just throwing curveballs and playing games.
Craig said he hasn't played mind games.
Nobody
man of his convictions.
In the end, nobody knows.
He's playing mind games by not playing mind games. It's the long play. He set up his whole career to this point to have you say, no, he doesn't play mind games, when in fact he's playing the mindliest of mind. He's not playing chess, he's playing Battleship. Like he is.
I don't mind Battleship.
Levels above.
I'm always tempted to cheat on Battleship. Paulie Dew says there's no logical reason I can think of to start Skinner. And I've defended Skinner all year. Pickard won 4 in a row, for God's sakes. Justin of Balgoni says, how is this even a point of discussion? Pickard has played serviceable goaltending. It's his net until he falters 2 games. I must be taking crazy pills. Garth Vader says, I like how at this point we're all just assuming goaltending will fall apart.
Capital C says, each time the Oilers switch up the goalies, it's the right move. Trust the coach. If he believes Skinner is the right choice, he's the right choice. I'd go with Skinner. Capital C.
Who's this? Capital C.
Capital
okay.
C in the Paris
See, like there are those of you among us who do believe this.
We're not in the Knob's in the room. He sees these guys. It's nothing against Pickard, but if he feels Skinner has reset himself, then again, and I will preface all of my points as saying I think Pickard should start.
Little Johnny texts in and says, wait, we're starting a goalie that's 0-2 and not the one that's 4-0? No, nobody knows just yet.
Well, don't read into it.
Tom Dixon's mustache. If Skinner was playing and was pulled due to injury, then you go back to him. Pickard has just outplayed him. You stick with picks. This text is in and said, what a pointless conversation. It's all situational. If Pick lets in 3 on 9 shots, Skinner is in. If they win that game and Skinner plays amazing, he starts game 2.
Is it, say that again? What was that? Who was that from?
I don't know. Further down the list on the
Nasty
text.
chat?
Yeah, it was in the text Paris Jewelers inbox.
Oh.
Martin says, what other market wants to replace a 4-0 goalie with an 0-2 goalie? Well, we don't.
No.
But there's been some people trying to justify the case.
Look, he was in the net yesterday.
Just to reset quickly, Stuart Skinner was in the starter's net at practice yesterday. Knobloch said not to read too much into that.
So Pickard's starting. Rob from the Grove says Knobloch is a reverse mind game guy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I've gone cross-eyed. All right, 19 likes away from changing 400. Hammer the thumbs up for us there. That is the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. And I love people who've been like, Dusty, I've looked around at different sites for tickets. And you're right. The Fan Zone is, the Fans First is the best place to do it. Fansfirst.ca, your best and most affordable way into games 3 and 4. Game 3, Saturday. Game 4 on Sunday. Tommy Gazzola, Game 1, Westgate, Boston Pizza. Tommy Gazzola, Game 2, GCL Diesel pregame show. Bourbon Street, Hudson's, West Edmonton Mall. Games 3 and 4. He's down at the Canadian Ice House. Game 5, back on White Ave. That was a good time last night. That White Ave Hudson's hits. So that's a good one. Game 6, if necessary, obviously, will be at the Canadian Ice House, and then we'll figure out what happens for Game 7 if this thing does go 7, and maybe it does hit 7 today. All right, let's get into that's good. Brought to you by the Italian Center. Have we had a show? I guess we haven't done a show yet since we realized that the pizzas weren't stolen; they were just placed in the freezer.
I think there's one still in there.
What do you mean? There's only one? There was 3 in there on Friday.
Oh no,
there should be.
There was 3 in there.
3 on Friday?
There was 3 in there on Friday.
On Friday?
On Thursday.
No.
Like the last time I looked in there on Thursday. There was
Trev
3.
and I had one Thursday.
And then Geiger did. Or someone had one on Thursday as well.
Where was
right
I?
when I was leaving.
Where was I when you guys had a
sleeping
pizza
in the truck
on Thursday? You had a pizza between shows?
We had beer of the week, and we made the executive. Well, we said, hey, you know,
no, that's a great idea.
Who else did we give a slice to as well? Reed was here.
Reed had a slice.
Reed had a
We
slice.
were like, here, have a
Came
slice
in
for
with
your
for the eye guy.
It was really good.
Oh, was it good?
Oh, yeah.
But the play on Friday when we were on location, I wanted Trev to heat up one pie for himself and then come on the camera and eat it while we were doing.
But I only thought there was 2, so I didn't even look. That's why I thought.
So how many are left in there right now?
I'll have to take a look, but maybe 1 then.
I think 1.
Oh boy, just 1.
I thought they were both eating LT. That's why I didn't do it. And I didn't look because that would have been funny. That was the whole bit. I was going to eat the.
We had it all set up. He was going to come out. That's good. And then
That would have been a hilarious thing. Yeah, that would have been a funny thing. All right, so hey, if you want to go pick up some of these pepperoni Principies
with peppers,
you get them right now. $2 from every one of those pepperoni Principies right now going to Sports Central. So it's a good idea. Swing on by the Italian Center, pick up the pepperoni Principi, and $2 from every one of those will be going to the local charity to help kids have a chance to play sports, which is always obviously nice. I can't go anywhere else outside of Mikko Rantanen's third period. Can you imagine what he's feeling? Like that has to be the biggest big man on campus feeling of all time. You're at home in Game 7 with your new team against the team that wouldn't pay you. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm out of here. And then he gets traded. Then you get traded back around. You sign. You've got this new team. You had 4 points in Game 6. It wasn't enough. Yeah. Colorado wins. You're like, oh, what am I going to do? And then at home in front of your new crowd, you have a game that might get you a statue there one day.
And Nathan McKinnon's off to the World Hockey Championship.
Down 2-0 in the third period. Rantanen has the hat trick plus an assist on the 4th goal to lead his new team back against his old team in a Game 7. Yeah, I don't know how you could have a better period in the National Hockey League in the history of the game than what Rantanen laid out on Saturday night.
And I think the empty netter too. It's kind of like going out and taking a bow.
Netter?
Like it's kind of
the ultimate revenge hat trick that comes not in the game. It came in like 13 minutes. Like the biggest FU to your former team of anybody in the history of revenge FUs. How can that not be the good?
And the guy that they got for you was held pointless, which adds to the whole narrative surrounding him.
Name a better period in the history of the National Hockey League. I'll wait. I mean, guys have had hat tricks before, sure.
Shane Clausing brought up Sam Gagner.
Guys have had, Gagner had the 5 points in his 8-point game. But we're talking Game 7 against your old team, revenge game. That was probably the best period in the history of the National Hockey League. It was so good. And you're right, the empty netter, like the Colorado Avalanche must be sitting there going,
scripted, yeah.
Of all guys, it's Rantanen with the hat trick.
I mean, what's one other thing that would make it better? If you can't come up with an answer, then therefore it is the best.
Him beating the living crap out of Natchez.
A fight too. He goes...
Like, he gets the hat trick.
Selly is straight to the bench.
He gets the hat trick. He goes over to the bench, grabs Natchez, and pops him 3 times. That's the only thing that could make that feel better for Rantanen.
What did I do?
Yeah, Natchez is just like, come on, man. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the only way you can make that better.
Yeah.
I don't know how you, like, even if you said come up with a better period, there's no better period than hat trick and 4 points in Game 7, third period against your, like, you can't even, it's impossible to script a better period unless somebody scores 6 goals in a period or something like that. The feeling that he must have had after that game. What a lucky guy.
I mean, there'll be a few Mikko Rantanen descendants playing in the NHL in a couple, right after tonight's game. Do the math. There'll be
this entire lineup
20 years from now. Yeah.
Of Mikko Rantanen. All right, we are just 4 likes away from hitting 400 here. So let's hit that mark as we hit the 8 o'clock hour. Ooh. And the fun continues here. Ryan Rishaug from the Got Your Back podcast is going to join us.
He's up.
And we'll get his thoughts on what is going on between the pipes here.
Or does anybody know?
Knobloch might even not know. Isn't
that something, eh?
That's how in the head of the Golden Knights they are.
I hope it comes down to a coin flip. You know, him and Coffee are in the...
Penner's Pancakes.
That's 3 out of 5.
Where is that hot blonde behind the Stars bench? Signed, John Garrett. Just like random.
More John Garrett text,
Johnny
please.
Garrett, man. What a legendary move.
Holy hell.
Double overtime. You know what I read today? Sidney Crosby's going to the World Championships.
I like how you read it too, like probably in a paper.
Yeah. I picked up the Winnipeg Free Sun or whatever it is. All right, Ryan Rishaug coming up in about 30 minutes. We need one more question for 3 questions too many. Got a couple of Oilers Knights questions already. If you have a third question, it could be Oilers Knights. It could be something else. Anything goes. So 780-218-9999. And if you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, gift certificate to Mr. Mike's is up for grabs. That is 780-218-9999. Text Trev. Let him know you'd like to play at 780-218-9999. That is where we will go next. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. Be a winner today. 780-218-9999. 3 questions too many for the great staff of Park Mazda. TSN's Ryan Rishaug from the Got Your Back podcast. And the wrap for William Huff still on the way. And what a day of text messages today. The Paris Jewelers inbox having one of its most fun days in quite some time. And one of your text messages will win that gift certificate to A&W where you can go and get your hands on the Teen Burger right now for just $4.99. Stop thinking about how delicious the Teen Burger is and go get one for just $4.99. Let's get to the sports update right now for the fine folks at Windsor Plywood, Leduc.
Adam Lowry had the double overtime winner, sending the Jets into round 2, 4-3. Taking Game 7 over the Blues, Jets will now face the Stars in round 2. That series beginning Wednesday from Winnipeg. Game 1 between the Oilers and Golden Knights. That goes tomorrow night down in Vegas at 7:30. Round 2 gets underway tonight from Toronto between the Leafs and Panthers. Action gets underway at 6. Over to the NBA playoffs, Warriors taking Game 7 on the road over the Rockets, 103-89. Warriors will take on the Timberwolves tomorrow. Conference semis did begin yesterday as the Pacers would take Game 1 on the road, 121-112 over the Cavs. Pair of games tonight. Celtics at home to the Knicks at 5, and the Nuggets visit the Thunder at 7:30. Toronto Blue Jays have the day off after falling to the Guardians 5-4 yesterday. Cleveland taking 2 of the 3 from the weekend set. Jays will hit the road for 6 beginning tomorrow night against the Angels. Over to golf. Bryson DeChambeau with a 2-shot victory at Live Golf Korea, while Scotty Scheffler closed out the CJ Cup, shooting a 63 yesterday to finish at 31 under. Sports Update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
I'm through with watching a team that simply just can't win. It's time for the playoffs and the Oilers are in. Turns out this season was better than you thought it would be.
Tell me what you got.
They've got a brand new captain with a C on his chest, and around the league they know he's best. And if you don't agree with that, then you just made the list.
Sorry, old dog.
They've got a goalie that has no limit. Every single night the net he's in, and he joined the 40-win club, and Fuhrer said that's fine with me.
Been there, done that.
Sorry boys on the bus, but they've got new stars. Renamed 104th McDavid Boulevard. Corner between Dry and Pat Maroon is fine for me.
So tell me how they did it.
They made a trade some thought was lame, but they picked up Larson for what's his name. Cause we all just wanna watch the playoffs and be down on white when the shirts come off. The girls ain't easy and the drugs aren't cheap. Can't go to the game, ticket price is too steep. So we'll hang out at the coolest bars and drive around with flags on our cars. Every bandwagon fan gonna play this song and cheer for Pisani cause they don't know he's gone. Hey, hey, I wanna watch the playoffs. They made a trade some thought was lame, but they picked up Larson for what's his name. Cause we all just wanna watch the playoffs and be down on white.
8:03 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today, whether you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tell your friends about EST. Just send them a link, and they hopefully can figure it out from there, even though some people can't figure out how to download an app on their phone and then click play. But we're working on it. We're working on it with those individuals. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are 79 likes away from changing 500. And YouTube Trev's got that. He's got that locked and loaded. That was dialing it back to what the 2017 playoff song. That's almost a decade ago now.
What did you?
I played Rockstar.
Oh yeah, okay.
We all just want to watch the playoffs.
Feeling a little blue though. I mean,
I forgot to look that up over the weekend, and I think I even put it in my phone. Didn't
you
I?
did remember because you said I usually remember things when I put them on my phone.
I did. I knocked off some of the thing. My to-do list on my phone.
It's a big It
is kind of crazy.
Long list.
Oh yeah, it's headed there. Oh, you know what? I had it said.
I think we bump it up in the rotation, though. You get that thing up there.
Well, it's up there. I got a lot of stuff to do. But I'll get to it. I will get to it. All right. We got kind of easy trivia coming up. We got 3 questions too many on the way. Ryan Rishaug is going to join us to figure out what the hell is happening between the pipes here. And then we'll get to the wrap for William Huff, text of the day for A&W. 0% financing OAC up to 72 months or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. Drive a little, save a lot at South Ford Chev. Check them out, www.southfordchev.com. We are coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio this morning. And of course, you can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Do not pay for 1 year at Paris Jewelers. www.parisjewelers.com. And one of your text messages, once we sort through them all, we'll end up winning text of the day today for A and W. And of course, it's all right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented to you by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything that Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. All right, Trev, who's playing kind of easy trivia this morning, buddy?
Bobby LaFrench.
Bobby LaFrench. That is French for Bobby the French. And he's going to be trying to win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Are you ready to stake your claim? Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with an Emperor's Caesar salad or a rustic onion soup. Then enjoy the tender 7-ounce sirloin steak with béarnaise, butter, and garlic mashed potatoes. Loaded with savory toppings, Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually, of course. Let's bring in Bobby LaFrench. Bobby LaFrench, you ready to play?
Sure am.
All right, here we go, man. We'll start the ticker after we read the first question. Good luck. You need 3 of 5 correct. All right, Bobby LaFrench?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. Which team won Game 7 in double overtime last night?
The Jets.
Which player had a hat trick against his former team on Saturday?
Rantanen.
Who will the Oilers face in round 2?
The Vegas Golden Knights.
What position does Aiden Hill play?
Hey, you know what I read the other day about Sidney Crosby?
Come on! Come on!
Yes!
Oh my God! Bobby LaFrench! Bobby LaFrench! Legendary!
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
Take it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
God.
Talk about meeting the moment.
Bobby LaFrench. Never seen anything like it.
That tops Rantanen. That might top
That's his Rantanen moment.
Those 5 questions, he didn't even need the 5, but
God, is there an SD for best kind of easy trivia moment? Or like best listener on air moment? I don't even know. I don't even know what the SD would be for this guy. That was perfect timing.
Knew he had it in the bag.
God. I just... So good. Oh, so good. Oh, man, this show, I just want to quit now. I just want to stop the show. Like,
how does it get any better than
nothing against Rishaug, nothing against the goaltender conversation, nothing against the rap and text of the day. I don't know how we top what Bobby LaFrench just dropped on us on Kind of Easy Trivia. God, that was too good. That was funny.
The John Garrett Award. Just that. It doesn't have to be for a moment or whatever. It's just the John Garrett Award.
Kevin Van Dossler. We had a newcomer come in and steal the show. Bobby LaFrench, the legend. I don't think I'll ever forget today's Kind of Easy Trivia.
Pizza Boy.
With Bobby LaFrench.
Bobby LaFrench, descendant of Secretariat.
Oh, there's a nice vibe on a Monday show here right now. Boys.
Yeah. It partners the goaltending conversation quite nice. Right?
It really does. It's like, oh my God, we're having so much fun.
It's a nice mix.
And then it's, why would you not start the guy who's 4-0, you idiots? That's kind of what that's kind of where we're at right now. All right. If you were watching over on YouTube today, 41 likes away from changing 500. And if you have not yet subbed to the channel, and I know so many of you watching right now have not yet subbed, we would sure appreciate it as we make our big push towards 12,000 subs. We are 73 away from hitting that number. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Oh, man. There aren't many things that make me, well, I guess I do laugh quite a bit, but that was genuinely hilarious.
Yeah. Meeting the moment.
Oh, Bobby LaFrench pops up in the chat. Coming over to, what does he say? Reap the benefits.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He's muckbanging.
The legend, Bobby LaFrench. Mock him, lady, tonight. What is going on in the show right now? All right. Tell your friends. Let's get into 3 questions too many today for the great staff at Park Mazda. Do you have a liner for the segment?
Yes, 3 questions too many brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Where's all the Formula One talk? Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Oh, yeah. Not even anything. Well, I mean, we can talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Miami. The decent alley.
Lando number 2 on McLaren now. Hey.
It sure looks like it.
Man, he was pissed. That interview post-race, he was not happy. And Ferrari troubles too. Like, there's a lot of pissiness coming out of that.
Do you think... I love this Antonelli kid. Gamer. But do you think Lewis Hamilton hates himself right now for going to Ferrari and leaving Mercedes? The Mercedes car just looks so much better.
Yeah.
Like Ferrari looks like they've taken a significant... It might be time to start focusing on 2026.
That's what they were talking about. Half the teams on the grid are kind of looking ahead. Be interesting to have Gage. Of course, we'll talk game tomorrow with Gage, but I really want to get his thoughts on all that.
Well, Ferrari's like not far behind Red Bull, though, in the battle for 3rd right now. But it's Mercedes. I know. That sprint race was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of those guys, though, it's just... I look at Lewis, I'm like, man, you could be in that other Mercedes car still? Fighting right up at the top of the grid?
At the top, yeah. But it's Piastri's world, and we're all just living in it. Yuki Tsunoda got a point, finishing 10th for Red Bull.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, that was nice to see.
Yes.
Who doesn't love Yuki Tsunoda?
You can't hate him.
All right, do you have a Twitter account?
I do, and we also have one at Edmonton Sports Talk. It's YEG Sports Talk on Twitter, so give us a follow right now. YEG Sports Talk, where I've, from that account, retweeted my polls from earlier today.
It's good. It's good.
Who should start a net tomorrow? Who will start a net tomorrow? Would you like the numbers as they stand?
I do. I do like the numbers. I would like them.
For the who should start a net tomorrow, Kelvin or Stewart. Kelvin leads 90.6% to 9.4. So there's your.
I ended the Twitter poll. I ended the YouTube poll. It was 84-16.
That's not what.
I always said you can trust Twitter more than anything.
You have always said that. Who will start a net tomorrow? Kelvin or Stewart? Kelvin 74.8 to Stewart's 25.2. It's moved. Yeah,
it's moved in the right direction.
Well,
Jeez.
Has it? Well, from the 50-50 before.
From the 50-50 before,
yeah,
two
votes.
Yeah. Oh, that was just 2 votes?
But it's still 74. I mean, it's closer than it should be. But maybe it's not.
YEG Sports Talk on Twitter. That's
YEG Sports Talk.
Yeah, give us. How close are we to 6,000?
We are. We're sniffing around. We're sniffing around, and wherever Tommy is for the playoffs, the schedule will be up there as well. We are at 5,860.
Okay, so we're 140 likes or 140 followers away.
Let's do it
on Twitter from hitting the 6,000 mark, which is kind of neat. All right, question number 1: who ends up being the unsung hero of round 2 for the Oilers? So I think this would kind of mean, outside of the big boys, who's the guy that steps up the most? And the big boys would be classified, I think, at this point as
Wallman,
McDavid, Draisaitl, Bush.
No.
So outside of those 3 guys, and let's take goaltending out of the conversation.
Is Vander
for a
Kane
minute.
a big boy?
No, I wouldn't know. I think the big boys are McDavid, Draisaitl. I mean, I won't even put Bush in there. Outside of McDavid, Draisaitl, and goaltending.
Oh, yeah.
Who ends up being the unsung hero in round 2? Who's the surprising X factor in round 2?
Oh, so we can say Bouchard?
I guess you can,
because he was an X factor both ways last series, and I would be Kane, Janmark. You got to go with the janitor.
Pick one.
I want to pick a handful.
No. Trev, I'm coming to you on this one too.
You know what? Scratch all that. John Klingberg.
John Klingberg. Well, now I've heard everything. You kiss your sister.
Kiss your sister.
Hey, out of on the day after May the 4th. Trev, who are you picking outside of McDavid and Draisaitl and the goaltenders? Who's your unsung hero of round 2?
This is tough. Well, Trent Frederick did get on the score sheet in the last game. I didn't mind that, but I mean, McDavid said his last game was probably the best game he's ever seen him play. I'm going to go with Connor Brown.
Oh, man. I was going to take Connor Brown to be like, nobody had brought it up yet. I was going to be Connor. Oh, so you're going Connor Brown.
Yeah, he's looking awesome out there.
Interesting.
You said we couldn't take the big boys, though.
Oh. That's Connor Brown after that last
He's a big boy,
isn't
he?
He is.
Man, if he can play like he did in Game 6.
Skating like the wind out there.
He was flying.
He was.
All right, so Connor Brown's off the board. Who did you end up narrowing it down to?
John Klingberg.
Oh, yeah, John Klingberg. So Klingberg and Brown off the board. I will go.
And it's X factor. That's the question, right? So that can mean a lot of like that. That's just.
Well, I'm gonna.
It's a lightning rod.
I'll say Evander Kane then.
Okay, yeah.
I'll go with Evander Kane.
Look at Hampton Steve. Nuge will be the X factor. I envision big depth goals from him.
Okay.
And Downtown Phil also says Nuge. It's always Nuge.
Well, it's not always Nuge.
He says the team will live or die depending how Nuge plays.
Oh my God,
that's a pretty strong
I
statement.
mean, let's.
They will survive. You know,
let's calm down
mortally
a little bit
here.
on this.
It's not going to. Scotland Gord X Factor Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, but he spelled Chris with a CH. I can't take him seriously.
Mind games.
I can't take him seriously. All right, question number 2. This is interesting. Who do you guys think is the Stanley Cup favorite right now? Florida Panthers.
Sure.
I mean, they've won it. They've been there 2 years in a row. They got past a really good Tampa team.
They have a very easy path.
They do have an easier path. They get, obviously, playoff fraud in the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then if it's Carolina, Florida will sweep them. I don't know what happens if... look at this, though. The thing just popped up right now on Play Alberta. Get a $25 free bet right now.
Hey. I will subscribe to what Button was putting down to that if the Stars get Heiskanen and Robertson, like those are two important calls. And then you add Rantanen into that mix. And if Ottinger plays,
I don't know. Ottinger's just so weird.
I know.
Not that goaltending is overly stable
if he
here.
hits his heights though.
But I think I'd go Florida. Florida would be my answer. They do have the series lines up. Florida, so is Florida they got to be the biggest. Carolina's a minus 150. This is over with our partners at Play Alberta. Check them out, playalberta.ca. These are not in the EST specials tab. If you want, actually, somebody had texted in earlier and said, Dusty, where can I find the lines for this series? And if you click on NHL, that'll just get you the game lines. So click on hockey. Go to all sports and click on hockey, and then click on NHL playoffs. And that is where you'll find it. The Carolina Hurricanes are minus 152 favorites against the Washington Capitals, which I think is disrespectful to the Caps. I mean, the Caps had a really good year. I don't know why they're the dogs that much in that series. The Florida Panthers are, the Florida Panthers are minus 175 favorites, despite Toronto having home ice in that series. The Edmonton Oilers, despite not having home ice, minus 125 favorites. And the Winnipeg Jets, oh man. The Jets, as the number 1 seed, are plus 130 dogs.
Yeah. President's Trophy curse.
Actually, this is something I guess I just realized going through these odds. All 4 road teams are favored in their series. Dallas is minus 164. Edmonton is minus 125. Florida is minus 175. And the Carolina Hurricanes are minus 152.
No road dogs.
Not a single road dog in this next round.
Badass Billy Guns.
It's kind of... That's strange. Anyway, Florida Panthers would be my pick right now. All day Niners 007. Dallas with Robertson and Heiskanen coming back. Arthur says, BX says the Oilers look scary. He's weird, but wise. Florida still has Forsling, Roydblad, Mikkola, and Jones is the top 4.
I got a chuckle out of that.
You laughed at Roydblad.
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Quaddy says Florida then Dallas. Florida and Edmonton rematch. The Dallas Stars. I will be picking Dallas to beat Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But I think the Oilers could take a good run at Dallas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Shanzi. Bold take, unsung hero, X Factor, Jeff Skinner.
That dude's not getting in.
No.
I mean,
he got his game. A deal's a deal.
19 likes away from changing 500. So if you're watching over there, Trev's got that 500 like button ready to go. 19 likes away. There's over 500 of you watching right now. Let's hammer the Hammer the thumbs up. Krager's in and says, guys, for a YouTube like from both of my phones, that's 2 thumbs, please can I hear your thoughts on PK Subban's terrible predictions? We laid it out earlier. It was my ugly.
It was your ugly. Yeah.
It was like, give me those thumbs. It was uglier. It was my ugly and the good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Like I said, it's almost like ESPN is like, hey, we need you to do the most ridiculous thing ever. And he's like, okay, here's my bracket.
Yeah.
He went 0 for 4 in the East and 2 for 4 in the West, and just one of the worst brackets I've ever seen.
It's almost
and
like
I love brackets.
Says and does those things to get the attention.
He
In
must
today's
work
day
at
and age,
ESPN.
I just,
yeah.
What a formula.
Why don't you hop back on First Take with your horrible Kobe takes?
Look, he still got the winner alive, right?
He did pick Vegas to win it,
so he could win the bracket after all.
Yeah, maybe he's the last laugh. We'll go to PK
Sure,
Subban.
right? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Question number 3, and this is an interesting question because the answer is different for everybody. How much money is too much money to spend on an Oilers playoff ticket?
Where?
It would be at home. Let's just assume at home.
No. But like, are we talking bleeds up in the thing?
I mean, it depends. I guess that the answer, your answer there is your answer to this question. Like, do you want to?
Oh, you're saying I have an option of anything. Like,
yeah, it says how much is too much to pay to get in one of these games. But like this all probably comes down to just your income or. But if I had
to pay a lot to sit up, like I think I would much rather be somewhere in a fan zone, pun intended,
as opposed to like sitting way up top for like.
If you got me a lower bowl, I think then you can open up that wallet a bit more. You'd be more tempted to, anyways. Some people just want to be in the house. I get that. You got a seat in the house. It's good enough. But there would be a line in terms of row number where I say no.
I think for me it would just be if you're in the building, you're in the building.
I get it. That's
and if you can be in the building for $2,000 less than somebody just sitting lower in the building, I think you get great value on that ticket.
Sure, but
I mean, just to be in the building, even if you're just standing at the bar having some drinks, watching it on TV, but you're in the building. You get the buzz. I don't know, Trev. What would be the most money you would spend to get into a playoff game?
This is tough. Yeah, I think my limit would be $500.
Okay.
But I'm not paying $500 to be in the nosebleeds. If I'm paying $500, that's my I'm okay with paying $500, but I want to be in the lower bowl.
Yeah, because I think you could have a better good luck with that probably.
That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that.
I don't know. I like.
It depends on how you like to digest the game and have your fun. Because again, being outside, I think would be obviously cheaper, but better than being up top.
I think so too.
Whereas if you're in the lower, I mean, that's a.
Yeah, it was next level.
You pay for
last
that.
year.
Duck Dad says, take a look at your bank account, subtract the bills you have to pay this month, 10% of that. So that's how he would do the math on this. Strummy says, I realize I'm probably a minority, but I would just rather watch the game at home.
Yeah.
Lil Mac says the cheapest seat right now is $340 for one ticket.
Then Arthur says upper bowl is $270. So
what's the most you've ever paid in the past to go to a sporting event?
Oof.
Remember which event would it have been? Do you remember?
I usually get all my. I don't. Come to think of it, I don't think I paid for an expensive sporting ticket at all in my life.
In your whole life?
No.
Really?
I usually parlay it with a friend, and I'll either buy the beer or something, and then it's a trade-off. So
Trev, what's the most you've ever paid to get into a game?
Oh, geez, not much either.
No,
like maybe $200. I remember the first time the Oilers made the playoffs since I'd been watching back in 2016. I was very tempted. There was one ticket I was looking at. It was like $600, and I'm doing it, but I didn't do it. But that would have been it.
The most I ever pulled the trigger on was $1,200 US.
Jeez.
For the LeBron game I was going to go to 2 years ago when we went down to Disneyland. But then it was funny because it was it was 3 rows up behind the Lakers bench. I was like, this is the only time in my life I'm ever going to get to see LeBron play. So this is it. Like this is my moment. So I bought a ticket for $1,200 US, 3 rows behind the bench. and it was going to be glorious.
In that, yeah.
Because we were going down to Disneyland anyway, so like the travel was already included in a family trip, and I was just going to sneak away. And it was the Mavs and the Lakers, and Luka was going to be playing, and AD and LeBron, and I was like, this is it. This is my one basketball moment, because I'd never been to an NBA game. I was like, this is the one. And then we get down to Disneyland, and like Monday, it's announced that Anthony Davis isn't going to play. Then on Tuesday, Luka's not going to play. Wednesday, LeBron's not going to play. So none of them were playing. So I resold the ticket, took like a $300 hit, but managed to move it and got, like whatever it was, 85% of my money back.
See, that's a once in a blue moon.
But I didn't even get to go through with it.
Right.
But that would have been the only time.
Yeah.
Only time ever.
Second round, game 3 against Vegas. I mean, I don't like. I've spent $100 on a concert. I don't know if I'll ever see that group again. Right? Like you can't.
Good point.
That's a thing that. So if you're going away, especially if you go on a trip somewhere and you're trying to catch things that you, then I don't think money's not even an option. I mean, you just kind of worry about that later. Let Mr. Visa Man take care of that. Hey.
Yeah, just say
charge it.
See you later.
Huh?
That was yeah. Let's see here.
A lot of people talking about and going off on the price of drinks. I mean, you there is a large benefit to staying at home these days, even on a random
when
weekend.
we went to Bush, remember I told you we went to Bush and it was $63 for a beer and a double spice rum.
Seats aside, you might be paying more in booze.
$63. I couldn't. I thought Tammy was going to faint like a goat. Ugh. That stuff. It's just that it doesn't. It's not necessary.
Good thing she didn't faint. How much you pay for a water to get her? Like, we need water over here.
Nope.
Oh, that'd be
$8 water.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's not.
I paid for an $8 water last time I was there.
They're selling water for $8 at an Oilers game.
It was $8.50. Yeah, I was blown away. I was not happy. Like, did McDavid sign this? Like, I don't get it. Why does it say $8?
Yeah. $8 for water?
I tweeted it. I said, this is what an $8 water bottle looks like. And it looks like just like any other one you've ever seen in your entire life.
Holy. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. That seems unnecessary.
I think your lack of a response is the telling point there. You're speechless.
Yeah, I mean,
that's perfectly. You shouldn't have a response.
Oh, that's the end of this segment, man. $8 water. God. All right.
Does that change your answer to the question how much you would pay to get her with it?
No, I mean, I'm still like to go to a good sporting. I'm still like $300. You know, and if that can't get me in, then I'm not going.
Yeah.
Unless it's a super special event, like the Lakers game would have been for me.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan Rishaug is on the way from TSN and the Got Your Back podcast. We're going to get his thoughts on Oilers and Knights. What's going to be happening between the pipes? We'll get into that. And what's the biggest takeaway from round one that we can kind of read into as they get ready to play a different team in the Golden Knights? If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. The wrap for William Huff still to come. But Shoggy is on the way next to help us set up the Oilers and the Golden Knights in round number 2. Let's get to a sports update right now for a place where it's always game day. Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge.
Second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs begins tonight. The Leafs hosting the Panthers, 6 o'clock. Game 1 between the Oilers and Golden Knights. That goes tomorrow night down in Vegas at 7:30. Last night, the final game of the opening round took place from Winnipeg. It was Adam Lowry scoring 16-10 of double overtime, leading the Jets over the Blues 4-3. Winnipeg now advanced to face the Stars in round 2. That series will begin Wednesday from Winnipeg. Over to the NBA playoffs. Second round action will continue tonight with a pair of Game 1s. Celtics at home to the Knicks at 5, while the Nuggets visit the Thunder at 7:30. Yesterday, Pacers taking Game 1 on the road, 121-112 over the Cavaliers. And the Golden State Warriors taking Game 7 over the Rockets, 103-89. Warriors will face the Timberwolves in round 2 beginning tomorrow. Blue Jays fall to the Guardians 5-4 yesterday. Cleveland taking 2 of 3 from the weekend set. Jays now 16-18, 3 games back of the Yankees. They'll hit the road for 6 beginning tomorrow night against the Angels. Over to golf, Scotty Scheffler closed out the CJ Cup. He shot a 63 yesterday to finish at 31 under par. Bryson DeChambeau, meanwhile, a 2-shot victory at Live Golf Korea. Sports Update is presented by Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. With wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials, it is the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge.
Timberlake rocks.
Is that a mandate of yours?
God, what are we talking about here? Good question. Can some of it be about sports? Yeah. All he needs to do is just get in front of people and state his case. If they had the mandate from the people, blah, 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 I don't know where that information came from, but I would question it.
Time for the Morning Mandate with Ryan Rishaug.
This is what sports broadcasting is all about.
You know what? That may be a good point, Ryan. You broke the story, Ryan.
Rishaug is one giant 6'2" pile of Charmin.
Boiler Guy Dennis texts in.
What a handle.
Says he went to Stanley Cup Final Game 7 last year and paid $4,300 US. Now that's got to be multiple tickets.
He must install a lot of boilers.
And he says, I went to Stanley Cup. He's got it kind of in two texts here. I went to Stanley Cup Final Game 7 and paid $4,300 US for 3 last year, 6 rows. So maybe it was 3. That would make more sense. Still a lot of money. Oh boy. All right. Maybe $8 for a water isn't too bad. The wrap for William Huff still to come. 3 seats. 3 seats for $4,300 US to Game 7 last year. All right, the wrap for William Huff still to come. Well, we've got lots to get to here. Oilers and Golden Knights round 2. It'll get going on tomorrow night. Game 1 on Tuesday, game 2 on Thursday, game 3 on Saturday night, 7:00 puck drop here in Edmonton. On Saturday, we got TSN's Ryan Rishaug from the Got Your Back podcast. Got Your Back available on YouTube and then all podcasting platforms as well. Shoggy joins us on the show this morning. Ryan Rishaug, happy Monday. How was your weekend, my man?
How was the weekend? Weekend was really good. A little golf, some yard maintenance, some lawn maintenance. You know, I'm heading out on the road here today, so you kind of got to take care of some of that stuff.
Get that stuff done, yeah.
Unbelievable all-timer of a nap yesterday. One for the ages.
How long?
Like,
How long are we talking?
Basically completely empty house. Got back from Oilers practice, went, threw on some whatever TV.
Yeah.
Probably 1 o'clock or so, laid my head down. 10 to 3, I woke up and just felt, it was one of those naps where, it was like I plugged in and just full bars. Woke up just full bars, feeling amazing. So had a great show last night with the guys. Just honestly, a nap for the ages. One that just, you feel so good.
10 to 3?
No. 1.
From like 1 to 3.
That's 1 to 3. Yeah, like
4 hours. I'm a big napper myself, but 4 hours that'll ruin your day.
Oh yeah,
that's not napping. That's going back to bed. There's a difference.
That's usually how it is for me in the
You've gone back to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Shoggy. Look, man, we got to start. What's going on between the pipes? Let's just start there. What's happening here right now?
Well, I'm not sure. So I was at practice yesterday. Skinner was in what would be the starter's net, but then I said to Knobloch, can we read anything into that? And he said, no. And I said, well, you tell us who your starter is. And he said, no. And that they haven't decided yet, which is, that's gobbledygook. Of course they know who they're starting. But yeah, I saw some reports floating around out there that it would be Skinner. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm heading down to practice today. I believe it's a full skate, so we'll get another look. And I think it's in the main rink today, I believe. And there is legitimately a starter's net and a backup net in the main rink. So let's just see what they roll out today, and not forget that Chris Knobloch threw some misdirection last series as well. Practiced in lines that he didn't play in, and was a little bit cagey about certain things. So I don't know which way this is going to go, guys, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a mistake not to start Calvin Pickard. No disrespect to Stuart Skinner, but Calvin Pickard won 4 straight games, helped win them the series, And I believe the gap between he and Skinner now is, this whole starter backup thing. You give them that respect through the season. I understand why, but at a certain point, they draw closer together. And when Calvin Pickard comes in and wins 4 straight playoff games and helps you win a series, the gap between them is basically null and void. He deserves to keep the net and keep rolling with it.
Yeah, if he doesn't start game 1, I said it earlier today, he'd probably be the first goalie ever to go 4-0 in the first round and not start game 1 of round 2. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Do you have time for the discussion of you're going to go back to Skinner at some point? Why not do it now when it's a fresh series? See if he's reset. I personally don't. I think it's crazy, but can you see, what do we do? 16% of people said that they would vote Skinner to start game 1 as opposed to maybe go back to him in game 3 if things don't go well like they started last
year. They played tandemly all year. That's another point. Can
you buy into it at all, Shoggy?
Well, I can understand the argument that would be made. I was having a discussion with a colleague of mine this morning, and the idea was reset your goaltending. Like, reset it, and then if Skinner falters, go to Pickard. That's when he's been good, is coming on in relief as opposed to being the guy from day one. So I can understand where that sentiment comes from, and I'm not gonna rip anybody, but I think that's sticking your head in the sand and ignoring the way things have changed, and things have changed. And you have to be willing to acknowledge when things change. Calvin Pickard has closed the gap between he and Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner's game was up and down all season long. Benefit of the doubt, right? Got the start in playoffs despite Pickard's strong finish to the season. Benefit of the doubt. And I'm not saying that Skinner was the only problem in the first couple of games, but took 2 losses and a pile of goals against. And so they made the switch. And Calvin Pickard came in and did what you could have argued he would have done in game 1, which was continue his battling strong play. And he wasn't perfect. He laid in some bad ones too, but he got wins. And whether they're pretty or not, Connor Hellebuck got a win last night, whether it was pretty or not. Calvin Pickard got 4 straight wins. And I don't think that it makes hockey sense to go to the other guy. I think there'll be a pile of players in that locker room. And again, I'm not trying to be hard on Skinner. I'm not, because he might go in and play great, and good for him if he does, right? So this isn't about ripping him. It's about what makes sense right now. And I would think there'd be a bunch of guys scratching their head a little bit like, oh, okay, if all of a sudden Pickard's back on the bench for game 1.
Ryan, you are around this team. You're getting the pulse, feeling the vibe. We can talk, special teams, 5-on-5, all that stuff that the coaches focus on. But when it comes down to just pure will in this series, given the fact the Oilers went as far as they did last year, that's their drive in the big picture. But also this rivalry with Vegas and being bounced last time. Like, what's this leadership group? If you could just, from being down there and everything yesterday, taking the temperature. I mean, the Vegas can't outwill them in this series. How can they get past that? Both the Oilers' will to get back to the finals, but also for a little revenge on this Vegas team.
Yeah, for sure. I actually had a chat with Connor McDavid yesterday, so I had a few minutes with him. That we'll post that on tsn.ca today, and I think probably on SportsCenter, so if people want to check out that conversation. But I mean, he was business-like. He's all business, right? That's what he presents. That's what he presented before the LA series began. I think one of the things the Oilers are trying to get a handle on is how to make sure they bring a little bit more intensity early on in a series, right? Like, not wait until they're backed into a corner to bring their best hockey. I think as a group, they're trying to figure that out, trying to sort that out. And I asked Chris Knobloch about that yesterday, and he kind of disagreed. He pushed back a little with the idea that, that maybe the results would indicate they're slower starters, but if you look at quality of play, he doesn't necessarily buy that. But if you think about it, guys, their last 2 series, they lost 3 in a row against the Panthers and 2 in a row against the LA Kings. I mean, you can argue about shots for and against and chances and all that, but you need results. And a team needs to conjure whatever they need to conjure up competitively to get better results early in a series. So I kind of crumple up those numbers and throw them out. And I would say your team isn't competitive enough early in series. Bottom line, and you need to figure that out. And I think this team does need to figure that out. And I think they're focused as a group on trying to work their way through that equation.
How much are you expecting the Edmonton Oilers to try to soften up that Golden Knights blue line early in this series? The Canes, the Podkolzins, like, I mean, are you thinking crash and bang them? Are you thinking just pressure them? To me, Aiden Hill's been blah so far in the playoffs. The Golden Knights haven't lit the world on fire offensively, but their blue line is a significant upgrade over Los Angeles, in my opinion. So how do you get to those guys, Shoggy?
Yeah, so I don't think that the answer is going to be to beat their blue line down to the point where, I mean, they're big.
Well, they're all big guys anyway. They're all they probably big, handle that, yeah.
Strong, durable guys. Now, you still got to finish your checks and you still got to force them because they're human beings. And if they're getting hit a lot, what you'll do is you'll hurry them on some plays and you'll start to create turnovers. But I don't think it's about wearing them down so that in a 7-game grind, those guys fall apart back there. I don't think that's, I mean, you could make the argument the LA Kings should have done that against the Oilers. The LA Kings should have grinded on the Oiler blue line, considering they had multiple guys with injuries coming in and they were already without Ekholm. I think it's important for the physical players to go in and pound on them for sure. Kane, Podkolzin, Frederick, all those guys to do their thing. It's going to be about getting to the inside. They're a group that makes it hard to get to the inside. And, on nights where they're really clicking, they just don't give up a lot in the middle of the ice and around their net. So there's going to have to be a willingness from every single forward to work their way through some big, mean guys and get there and stay there. And so I have no doubt Evander Kane's going to do that. I have no doubt Corey Perry's going to do that. I have no doubt that Trent Frederick's going to do that. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Adam Henrique, Connor Brown, Matthias Janmark, all those guys need to be relentless in getting to the middle too. It can't just be the bigger bodies that are willing to get there.
What about on the other side of this with the Oilers blue line? We saw Klingberg sort of elevate his game a little bit against the Los Angeles Kings. Is that blue line trending in the right direction right now, Shoggy, would you say?
I would say in some ways it is. Klingberg found his game, gives them a second pairing. Wallman got healthier as the last series went on. The results that Bouchard and Nurse are getting together are not great. Yeah. And they seem to, they're practicing in those pairings. They seem to feel like that's where they need to go.
Why do you think they like that so much, Shoggy?
I think it's a little bit by necessity to make everything else work.
Yeah.
Who's the right player to play with Bouchard? And I don't have all the numbers in front of me right now, but, I don't know that Kulak has worked great there. I just think they feel like those are their two big minute guys. Those are their two guys, and they got to be able to rely on them together. And I think they're just kind of sticking with it. But I think we know, Emerson hasn't played a pile of minutes, so they really get shuffling things around. Paul Coffey really gets moving guys around. And so it's not like they play together every shift. If when they're down to 5D, they rotate through quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, for whatever reason, they seem to want to start there, and let's see how it goes. I'm going to be really interested in Evan Bouchard this series. Had some really strong offensive moments in the first round and some really good looks and finished strong. And they really need that out of Evan Bouchard to start this series, right? Be all the things offensively that he can be, but really have it locked down in his own end and get back to that way of defending that makes him reliable enough to have him out there on the ice with 2 minutes left and a 1-goal lead. Make sure you're playing that kind of game.
All right, Shoggy, you guys dropped a new episode last night, and then you're flying today after practice, and then obviously post-game Tuesday?
Yeah, we'll be post-game the rest of the way through the series, and we'll have Struddy's World on Wednesday in between games. So lots of content, and I'm excited. Can't wait to get out there. It's going to be lots of fun, and this will be interesting, fellas. We did our predictions last night.
Okay, who'd you take? What was that?
So in the first round, Struds picked the Kings. Hey, I think I told you guys that he went Kings in 6, and man, has he been eating it ever since.
Yeah, Craig Button took the Kings to beat the Oilers too, and when he was on today, the chat was all over him. It's a tough look.
Yeah. No, all of us picked the Oilers in this next one, varying degrees of games. I had an aggressive pick. I always think 6 games.
Did you go Oilers in 5?
I did.
Wow.
I feel like 6 games is kind of sitting on the fence. You're saying, it's going to be a good series, and if I'm wrong, I'm not that wrong. So it feels a little cheap to say 6 games. I feel like you'd either need to say 4, 5, or 7. You know what I mean? 6 to me feels cheap. So I think the Oilers are going to win this series. I don't know if they'll get it done in 5, but that's what I picked to be bold and to be able to beat my chest if I'm right.
Feel really bad about my Oilers in 6 right now. Well,
did you take the Oilers in 6? Sorry, buddy.
That's okay. I tried to be bold in the first round, and I took Tampa in 5, and that backfired big time. So,
boy.
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from the 5s.
Not PK Subban, though.
No, definitely. Yeah, PK Subban went 2 and 6.
That's bold.
Brownie actually pushed back really hard because he took the Oilers in 6 last series, but he was not buying my concept of 6 is a weak call. He was like, that's BS, like no chance, because I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. So he went through the order of games, and I think he actually got it pretty close. So last night, he picked the Oil in 6, and he actually said the way the games were going to go, like predicted, and then they're going to this and that and this and that. So it wasn't just a prediction of games. He predicted the order of wins and losses. Yeah.
So did he go split in Vegas, sweep at home, lose game 5, win game 6?
I went split in Vegas, sweep at home, win game 5. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he did what you said. And then Struddy basically sitting on the fence, playing it safe this round. He went Oilers in 7, which is don't even make a prediction at that point.
Great insight, Struddy. Unbelievable, that guy. All right, Shaggy, well, safe try. Hey, what do you got downloaded for the plane? What are you going to be watching on the flight down?
Oh, you know what I'm right into? Oh, So I decided I was going to use Game of Thrones as my workout show. Like I'm going to work out and it's going to motivate me. I'm going to rewatch all of Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
I started season 1 like a couple of weeks ago. I think I've watched it maybe twice while on the elliptical. I'm on season 5 already. Yeah, I've literally just been laying around in my downtime.
I've rewatched Game of Thrones like 6 times, man. I have it on all the time. I love that.
Oh my God. It is. I forgot how good it is. I forgot. And I don't remember. I don't have a great memory. So it's like I'm watching it all for the first time again. Like I got all of season 5 downloaded and 6, 7, and 8 as well. Like I'm loaded for bear on this trip. So.
All right, well, you're the guy who's in Vegas, but in his room watching Game of Thrones.
That is me.
All the time. Yeah.
That is me.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, safe travels and have fun covering the series.
All right, guys. Enjoy the games.
There you go. That is Ryan Rishaug from TSN and the Got Your Back podcast, available on all podcasting platforms. It is a great show. Like, that's one that I put on when I'm working at night. And I end up realizing I'm not working. I'm just watching it again.
Should invite him in for a game 3 or 4 Tales of the North while we're at it. Hey, he could probably he'll have the lingo down. He'll be top of mind.
He'll be really in. Shaggy gets in these zones, right, where he's like all in, fully committed to stuff.
Oh yeah,
I could see that being the case. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. This text is in first time ever from a 480 area code. Not even sure where that is. Where's
Ontario?
Probably Ontario. So many people in Ontario.
They're all in Ontario.
There's no overdrive in the morning, right?
Eastern northern parts of the Phoenix metropolitan area.
What?
Arizona.
Anyway, it says, can we get a split? Yeah. Split, yeah. There it is. I knew you'd come through, Chuck. I knew you'd come through. God, I love that being the first text from somebody south of the border that's just like, I'm going to text into these guys, and I'm going to go with this. Interesting. Devil's advocate here. It's a Keanu Reeves movie. Does nobody remember Skinner coming off a concussion following a borderline concussion a few games before? But most importantly, he lost to a fresh Kings defense. Pickard won against a tired, played too much Kings defense.
And I'll add on to that as well. That Oilers team during the first 2 games was not the team that finished the series, right? We said that earlier too.
There's don't a few guys care. But it's
just a conversation. It's
okay, again, but here's the thing.
I preface by saying I think Pickard should start.
Here's the thing. If they go and start Stuart Skinner, then that's not the team at all that played games 3 through 6, because that team had Calvin Pickard between the pipes. I'm sorry. It's
I'm talking the
if we're gonna say, the team's playing well, then you run it back with the goalie that's playing well. What are we doing here?
Skinner had no effect on the team's power play finding its legs. Yeah,
maybe it did. Maybe he did. I don't know, man. I don't know why you would go away from a guy. Well, to be honest with you, it's disrespectful. Calvin Pickard is 4-0. What if somebody came to you and said, hey, man, you're doing an amazing job.
He's a team player.
But we're going to go with the guy who's worse at the job than you right now. Why would you do that? Who would do that in their right mind?
I can't wait for Murray's thoughts in the hang-up this morning. You know he's going to have a screed
he's a
on
huge
this.
Skinner guy. He loves the decision. Loves the decision. We are 56 likes away from changing 600. Can we do that? I think we can get 56 before. Did you hit 500, Jeff? You didn't even hit it.
Changing 500.
All right, there we go. Let's go. We got 9 minutes to get 56 likes. I think we can do it.
Joe in the nasty chat, is Skinner actually starting? WTF? I keep hearing rumors.
Nobody knows it, Joe. The fact that it's just not Pickard because he won 4 in a row is
it's got us
kind of blowing my mind here right now. Look at Twitter, Mary and Dave. Good morning, guys. From the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on our way to the British Virgin Islands. Oh. Twitter, Mary and Dave.
Put it on the map.
What?
I don't think we pinned the middle of the Atlantic.
Let's put a pin in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean,
what a
you guys.
text.
God, we'll put it right smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Have a great. It must be on a boat.
Bon voyage, as they say.
Are they on a boat or are they?
I would hope.
On a plane.
Yeah, maybe in the.
It could be either one.
I would assume
probably
boat,
a plane.
Maybe a plane. Yeah.
I think probably a plane.
Yeah.
Who goes across the Atlantic Ocean in a boat? What is it? The Titanic days?
Don't.
Come on. I think they got to be in the air. They got to be in the air.
How long would a boat? Modern day ships probably travel faster than.
Modern day ships travel faster than Titanic.
Right.
I've
so
confirmed that, yeah.
to take a boat across the Atlantic,
they also get to where they're supposed to go.
You just got Titanic takes loaded. You've been waiting for this day.
I have so many Titanic takes. My God.
Here you go from England to New York. 7 nights or 7 days? Oh, jeez.
On a boat?
On a boat.
To get across the ocean.
A transatlantic cruise, they call it.
Well, we'll never know, I guess.
But they say it's about the journey, not the destination. That's the.
Yeah, but all you're doing is seeing water.
All the sights.
It's not like there's a bunch of world famous monuments sitting in the middle of the ocean.
You might see a whale.
See a whale on YouTube. All right, so let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, and our place looks mighty fine, get it done at William Huff. They've been doing it since 1952, so they're the best in the biz. www.williamhuff.com. All right, what did we learn on the show today, guys?
Frank Sinatra's tune "Luck Be a Lady." You thought it was "Mukbang a Lady."
No.
And mukbang is like a form of eating now. You eat, you mic yourself up. You go,
I
noodles.
didn't say mukbang. I said mock me.
Mock me.
Mock me, a lady.
Mock or muck?
Mock. As in a mock draft.
Mock me a lady.
Yeah.
Mock me a lady tonight.
Mock me a lady.
No results. Yeah.
Tonight.
So you learned it's "Luck Be a Lady," which is
that's a Vegas related song, I guess.
Frank Sinatra.
Chad, did you know that it was "Luck Be a Lady" tonight? When
Nope.
Luck Be a Lady. Did you thought it was mukbang?
Neither.
No.
I have no idea.
Luck be a lady.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Luck be a lady.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Secretariat.
You learned about
Siring
Secretariat
the horses.
today.
Story, the origin story. Like to have a little fun, I guess, in its heyday.
Secretariat
It's an heyday.
was the great grandpa or the great grandpa of every horse that ran in the Kentucky Derby. Have you ever seen such a thing?
I don't know.
Led to some great text messages today for sure.
Oh.
And we'll get to your text.
Phillip
of the day
Rivers
coming
one.
up.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean that one was good. There was so many.
Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp was there's that
creative.
one.
Honorable
To be
mention.
honest with you, I did not think
They are on a boat. Dave
They
said he
are
just
on a
saw a
boat.
huge cargo ship pass by. It's busy out there.
it can't be that busy. It's the ocean.
It's a busy ocean.
The ocean can't be described
It's
as
massive.
busy.
It's massive.
is.
Like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, you think is busy?
Well, they have their set routes, so it's not like they go off of it. So yeah.
Have you ever seen a plane while you're in a plane? Like go under?
Yes, one time I did.
That's nuts, eh?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it
It
is.
goes so fast.
I know.
Yeah.
Look,
I would never. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a trip.
Bill is in. This isn't text of the day, but it's another good one. Secretariat to all the other stallions looking to get them some. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
Mark the Moman was in earlier. Says Secretariat. It's hard. Classic. No, let's make that the sound of the day here. Right?
Well, very impressive. Taking a few years to put all this together.
It's not a one-year quest because it's so hard to get your hands on. At this stage of my life, I don't invest in green bananas. It's a lifetime quest. Just not sure if I'm going to be around long enough to see them ripen to be yellow. You can't party enough when you win that thing. It's a party machine. Party machine. That's why it's the Stanley Cup. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
My to-do. And did Eddie Murphy have any other bangers, or was this the biggest one-hit wonder guy of all time? I mean, I've never heard anything else. I didn't even know that one until we started mixing it in the song together.
Luck be a lady.
Tonight. We are 27 likes away from changing 600 here on a Monday morning. So hammer the thumbs up for us if you haven't already. Turn on autoplay. That'll take you right on over to the Hangout when it starts. Murray McCourt. Murray's he's gonna have some stuff to say about the goaltending today.
Yeah.
And then the return of the VIP golf show yesterday was awesome. New graphics look great. Trev, was that you? Those.
Thank you.
These new graphics look really nice.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to text of the day today for A&W. This is still up in the air right now.
Text off.
Text of the day. A true Canadian favorite. The A&W Team Burger now available for just $4.99. Perfectly seasoned, juicy, grass-fed beef patty raised without the use of hormones and steroids. Topped with the real cheddar cheese, mouth-watering bacon, crisp lettuce, onion, tomato, pickles, and teen sauce served on a freshly toasted sesame seed bun. All for just $4.99. Get it while it's $4.99 only at A&W. Canada's original burger chain since 1956. I think I've got to narrow down to two. We've got T-Mac the rugby guy with, this is Secretariat?
The father.
That's pretty good. Like, that's a nice tie-in. And then I did like this one too from Jeffy. Nepotism, more like nepotism. Those are both really good. We were talking about how the Kentucky Derby is just a big nepo baby race. What do we go with?
This is as close as choosing between Skinner or Pickard for game one, I would.
This is Trev. What do you think? Jeffy with the nepotism, more like nepotism, or this is Secretariat?
The father.
Wait, you guys pick. This is so tough. Last time, a few times, I've had to be in deciding. You know, I decided. I get DMs, be like, "Why didn't you pick mine?" So,
do you know what? Like I will say this. I do laugh harder on the. This is Secretariat.
The father.
That's what I was going to pick too. So.
Oh, now he says it.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. I started with that one.
Okay, there we go. That's the one. T-Mac, the rugby guy. Congratulations. You have won text of the day. What a glorious day with Secretariat. God. Somebody said, do you think Secretariat's the reason the term horsing around is a thing?
No.
Secretariat.
Oh, and if you go to marinetraffic.com, Troll says you'll see a lot of ships and shipping. And apparently they're going to the British Virgin Islands, so it's like a one-day cruise down to the Caribbean.
So they're not going across the ocean here.
No.
What was it? Do I go check out what?
Marinetraffic.com.
Marinetraffic.com. Let's check this. This is something we learned on the show today. Marinetraffic.com.
I could watch
this. Let's see how busy.
I could watch this for days.
Whoa. Whoa. Damn. The ocean is busy.
But you look up there a bit, there's a lot of free real estate up there if you want to hide away at sea.
Holy smokes. Now, are these boats that are going right now? Yes. This is cool, man. I had no idea there were this many boats out there.
Told you.
You can see the different routes they all take. How?
Do it for planes as well. There's like triple that.
Oh.
Big boat gap.
This is, if you've never checked this out, check out marinetraffic.com. It tells you look, this one's a pleasure craft. position received by, it's a pleasure craft.
It's a pleasure craft.
They got a cargo vessel, tanker.
Have you seen a pirate ship yet?
I'm looking for a pirate ship.
Yeah.
To read on it?
Oh, good one. All right, the hangout's coming. Wow, that is kind of cool, man. Now, can you see submarines? Probably not. I'm going to search all these to try to find a submarine.
Submarinetraffic.com.
Yeah. Okay, I was way off on that whole the ocean isn't busy thing. Man, can't believe I missed on that by that much. It's very busy. All right, what are we watching tonight, boys? Panthers spanking the Leafs? Sure hope so.
Yeah, if you want. Also, Nuggets and Thunder, 7:30.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one, too.
And Celtics Knicks at 5.
Oh, double header on a Monday night.
Jays had the day off. Sorry to say.
If you think the Panthers are going to win tonight, hop in with us on our early bird bet. Go to playalberta.ca, click on EST specials. Panthers to win and points from Kachuk, Reinhardt, Barkov, plus 295, boosted by our partners over at Play Alberta. I'll be back in the lock shop with Huss. I cannot wait to see how Huss is doing after yesterday. He may come on. He might have lost 20 pounds watching that game.
Still all in the white.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't slept yet. Anyway, Huss will be with me on the log shop. The hangout is on the way next. Tommy, Maddie, and Murray from the VIP Golf Show. There's a good goaltending conversation coming up here on the hangout. Turn on autoplay on YouTube. It'll take you right on over if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com. Stick around. Less than 5 minutes. Hangout will be right here live on Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. For YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Talk to you at 11. Take it easy.